now 800, that rare canteen with all the documents. I was 750, now 800. I was only 750s on the phone and 800. Where's all the Civil War guys? This stuff is really good. I was 750 once, twice, and for 800. We all in, all done at 750. It's on the phone anymore. All in, all done at 750. We are 750 then.
371.
371. All right, here is the identified mess kit, Maine 6 volunteer imagery. This all belonged to the same soldier. And on the right here, from their family in Vassarboro, Maine. And on this right here, what's your pleasure? 500 I have, and 550. I have 550, 600, 600, 650, 650, 700, 700, 750, 800, 800, 850, 900, 900, 950, 1,000. 1,100. No. I have 1,000 online with Carol, now 1,100. I have 1,000, now 1,100 on the phone, and now 1,200. I have 1,100 on the phone, and now 1,200. 11 on the phone once, 11 on the phone twice, and for 1,200 on that whole kit. Any more? 11 once, twice, any more? It's 1,100.
371.
371. Oh, good. He's keeping it all together. Next we have identified Union canteen from the 6th Maine Regiment. Again, another one. This one has a sort of a velvet covering on it with a cotton strap. What's your pleasure on this?
300.
300 I have to open, and now 350. I have 300, now 350. At 300, now 350. At 300, 350. Any more? All in, 350 is on the floor in the center, and now 400. I have 350 then on this important historical stuff at only 350 and 400. Gonna sell it. I have 350s on the floor once, twice, and went for 400. We're all in, all done at 350, 400. 350 to you, number 30. 350 to the floor. Number 30 buys. Next we have identified Union Maine 6th Regiment belt buckle and with a leather strap, and for property of Corporal Benjamin Franklin Goodwin of the Maine 6th Volunteer. What's your pleasure on this?
200.
200 I have, and now 2 1/4. I have 200, now 2 1/4. I have 200, now 2 1/4, 200, 2 1/4. I have 200, 2 1/4. That's a great belt buckle. The gold leaf is real good on it. I have 200, now 2 1/4. I have 200 and 2 1/4. I've seen reproductions bring more than that. I have 200, now 2 1/4. Any more? Want to sell? 2 1/4 is on the floor, center, and 2 1/2, and 75. 75 and 300. 300, of course, and 3 1/4. I have 300 with Emily on Live Auctioneers at 300 and 3 1/4. I have 300 and 3 1/4, 300 and 3 1/4. Any more? 300 once, 300 twice. All in all, 300 is on Live Auctioneers and $300. And it's sold to Live Auctioneers for $300. Next we have identified Civil War 6th Maine Regiment Union belt plate. Belt plate, and what's your pleasure on that?
70.
70 I have, and 80, and 90, 90 on the floor. Now 100, 125 on the floor. And I have 1 1/4 on the floor. Need 1/5, 1/2, 175 on the floor, and 200. I have 175 is on the floor. Gentlemen seated, 200, 2 1/4 in the middle, and 2 1/2. I have 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. 2 1/4 is on the floor and selling. Any more? 2 1/2 and 275. No, he says. I have 275 with Emily on Live Auctioneers, and now 275 and now 300. I have 270.
I have 2.5.
Oh, 2.5 rather. I have 2.5 with Emily. Need 275. Anyone for 275? All in all on 250 is with Emily online at 250 on Live Auctioneers, and it's Emily 250.
Live Auctioneers.
Live Auctioneers. Next we have identified Union Army possibly field-made corporal chevrons. And on those, what's your pleasure from this same family, that same historical Civil War family?
At 200.
200 I have, and now 2 1/4. I have 200, now 2 1/4. I have 200, now 2 1/4. On 200, 2 1/4, 200, 2 1/4. On the chevrons, 200 once, 200 twice, 2 1/4 is on the floor, and 2 1/2. 2 1/2 and 275 on the floor, and 300. I have 275, these are rare. I have 275 and now 3. I have 275 is on the floor, and 300. At 300 and 3 1/4 would you go? I have 300 with Emily on Live Auctioneers, and 3 1/4. I have 300, now 3 1/4, 3 and 3 1/4. Any more? 300 once, twice, in for 3 1/4. Emily, 300.
Live Auctioneers.
Live Auctioneers. Next we have identified 6th Maine Regiment Veterans Binder of Poems and Letters. That's including a vision of Gettysburg written on the battlefield July 1st at the 50th reunion, and so on and so forth. What's your pleasure on this one? Same family, all this historical stuff. We're still in the same family grouping from that family in Maine. What's your pleasure on that? We have what, a couple $100 to set it in. 200 where I said, but 200, 100, set it in. It's got to be, they want it sold. Anyone for $100 in a historically written piece. Anyone for 100? Nobody wants it? Once, twice? Give it back to the family. Pass away. We don't want to pass anything. Next we have a rare Maine Civil War roster book, first edition. And what's your pleasure on this one? It's the alphabetical index of Maine volunteers, etc., so on and so forth. And what's your pleasure in this? Any interest in this piece? We have $100 in this. It's unreserved. Anyone for 100? 100 I have, and now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, 100 now quarter. It's hard to find this. Property of Corporal Benjamin Franklin Goodwin, 6 Maine Infantry. He fought in Antietam, Fredericksburg, Gettysburg, Chancellorsville, Spotsylvania, Cold Harbor, Petersburg. I see. 1 1/4, 1 1/2. I 1 1/4, 1 1/2. I 1 1/4, 1 1/2, no, 1 1/2 and 175. Seems cheap for this. I 150, now 175. I 150 once, 150 twice. The State Museum should be here. I 150, now 175. Any more? It's 150. Carol? Online bidder. All right, we're on lot 1017 coming right up. Right here, and it is going to be what? 2 original Georgia and Virginia, January and May 1865 newspapers with Maine 6 regiment stories. What's your pleasure on that? 50 I have, and 75 now. 60, and now 70, and 80, and now 90, and 100, and 25. I have 100 now a quarter. I have 100 now a quarter, 100 now a quarter. Interesting papers. 100 now a quarter. 1 1/4 is on the floor, and 1 1/2. 1 1/4 is on the floor and selling. And 1 1/4 once, 1 1/4 twice. And 150, 150 I have, and now 175. With curl at 150 seems reasonable. At 150 now 175. At 150 once, 150 twice. And for 175. Carol 150. Online bidder 150. Next we have a collection of documents and photographs from the Maine 6th Regiment Union veteran. What's your pleasure on these? 100 I have, and 1 1/4, and 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 175, 200, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, no, they're out. I have 2 1/2 for Carol, now 275. I have 250 and 275, and all the documents and photographs. I have 250 once, twice, in for 275. Carol, 250. Next we have a identified complete set of Union officers' buttons and a GAR buckle in great quality, all mounted, ready to exhibit. What's your pleasure on that? 80 I have, and now 90. Seems off. 90, now 100. 90, now 100. Nice set. 100, I have 100 on the floor, saw the gentleman first. And 1 1/4 now. I 100 on the floor, now 1 1/4. Nice group. 100, 1 1/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/2 on the floor, and now 175. At 150, now 175. At 150 is on the floor and selling. At 150 once, 150 twice, going for 175. A great group. Any more? You got it. 150, number 30. 150 to 30. Next we have a framed collection of 14 GAR medals and ribbons, all nicely done. This is from a really good family locally. There's one of Lincoln, all kinds of nice stuff. What's your pleasure on this one? And we have what? 500, wait, instead of been 500, 400, 300, 200, 200. Nobody wants those nice medals? 200, anyone? 200 I have on the floor, and 2 1/4. They're here to be sold. I have 200 now, 2 1/4. 2 1/4, way under the money. 2 1/2, 2 1/2 on the floor, and 275. That's a good group of medals. I have 250s on the floor, 275 with Carol. They're just waking up. 300 I have on the floor now. 3 1/4, 3 1/4, of course, and 3 1/2 on the floor, and 375 now. 375 and 400 on the floor, and 4 1/4. 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. We paid for one of them. I have 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. 4 1/2 is on the floor, and 475. I have 450 now, 475. Way under the money. 475 and 500 on the floor, and 550. Think of the value of these. I have 500 now, 550. 550, 600. I have 550 now with Emily. At 550 with Emily, and now 600. At 550 once, 550 twice. That's a great group of medals for $550. All in all done at 550 with Emily. Emily, 550. Live auctioneers. Next we have identified GR cap from Waterville, Maine vet. A black wool hat with leather visor, gold buttons, and so on and so forth. Made by M. Seeley and Company of Columbus, Ohio. And on that hat, what's your pleasure? 60 I have, now 70. I have 60 now, 70, 60 now, 70. A cool little hat. I have 60 now, 70. Any more? All in on this. 70 on the floor, now 80. I have 80 now, 90. 90 on the floor, now 100. I have 90 on the floor, now 100. A nice little hat. At 90 now, 100. 90 now, 100. At 90 once, 90 twice, in for $100. On the floor at $90 and selling. Once, twice, and sold. $90, number 30. Next we go, identified Union Veteran Maine 6th Regiment homemade memento. This is a really neat thing right here. May I have a couple of dollars, set it in. I have 200, now 2 1/4. 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. I 2 1/4, 2 1/2 and 75 and 300, 300, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/2 and 375 and 400. 400, 4 1/4, no. I have 400 Carol now, all over the place in that. 400 and 4 1/4, one-of-a-kind thing. I have $400 once, $400 twice with Carol at only $400. This rare item, all in, all done. Carol, 400.
Online bidder.
The online bidders are getting a lot of good stuff today. Again, from the family, Gettysburg Veterans Maine 6th Regiment souvenir, a bullet in a tree branch, a lead mini ball, section in the branch. And what do we have here? 2 1/4 and 2 1/2 on that segment. 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2. A great relic at 2 1/4, 2 1/2. The reason it's in this branch is because it missed the guy. I thought that was funny. It went right through his arm and into that tree.
That's not a miss.
It was a clean through shot, right? Anyway, where are we? We got 2 1/4 with Carol, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2 anymore? Sold, 2 1/4 Carol.
Online bidder.
Oh, here we go. Here's a rare gun. It's an Enfield pattern 1856 number 2, .577 caliber. And on that right there, what's your pleasure?
800.
800 I have it now, 900 I have it now, 1,000 I have, and 1,100. 11 now, 12 on the floor, and 1,300, and 1,400, and 1,500, and 1,600. I have 1,600 and 1,700. I have 1,600 and 1,700. I have 1,600 with Jamie. Now 17, they're back in, and 18, Jamie. 18 and 19, now 2,000. 2,000. I have 1,900, now 2,000. A rare gun, all in, all done. 1,900 and 2,000, that beautiful gun. At 1,900 and 2,000, we all in, all done. The 1,900? Is he in? 2,000? Oh, it's you at 1,900. 1,900, now 2,000, sorry. I have 1,900 with Jamie and 2,000. And 1,900 once, 1,900 once. Any for 2,000? Jamie.
Congratulations. 316.
316, 1,900. And now we're on lot 1025. 1025 is a pair of Civil War crutches, handmade crutches in maple and pine. And what's your pleasure? 48 inches high. What's your pleasure on those? 20 I have, and now 30. I have 20 now 30, 20 now 30. You'll have the only ones in the neighborhood. I have 20 now 30, 21, 30 anymore. All in, all done at $20, $30 on the floor and 40 now. I have 30 on the floor and 40. Couldn't buy the wood for that. 30 once, 30 twice, and went for 40. Sold, $30, number 30. 30 to 30, 30 to 30. Next we have a Civil War button from Vermont. Militia, gilt brass by Scoville, Waterbury, Connecticut. And on that right there, what's your pleasure? 150 I have it now, 175. I have 150, 175. At 150, 175 anymore? 150 once, twice, in for 175. Sold, 150. Carol? Next we have a collection of 26 Civil War newspapers. And what's your pleasure on those? 50, having 60 now. I have 60 on the floor, now 70. I have 60 on the floor and 70, a great group of papers. I have 60 and 70, 60 and 70 anymore? All in 70, now 80. I have 70, 80 on the floor, now 90. On the floor at 80 and 90. Quickly, I'm going to sell them. I have 80 once, 80 twice, in for $90. All in, all done at 90 and 100. 100 on the floor, now a quarter. I have 100s on the floor with a gentleman seated center. I have 100 now, 1/4. 100 once, twice, in for 1 1/4. All in, 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 1 1/2 on the floor, and now 175. I have 150 on the floor and 175 if you like them. All in, all done. At 150 once, twice, anyone for 175? 150 to 30. Next we have a Civil War diary, July 1864, from Hagerstown, Maryland. And on that right there, in that rare diary, it says, a diary of a civilian lawyer, George W. Smith of Hagerstown, Maryland. Of his impressions of the fighting, that ragged back and forth of his town. And what's your pleasure on that? 350 I have, and 375. I have 350 and 375 and 400, 400 and 4 1/4. I have 400 Carol now, 4 1/4. I have 400 now, 4 1/4 in that rare document. I have 400 now, 4 1/4, 400, 4 1/4. 4 1/4 Carol now, 4 1/2. I have 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. At 4 1/4 and 4 1/2, at 4 1/4, 4 1/2 anymore? At 425 and going. At 425 and going once, and 425 going twice, anyway for 4 1/2. Then it's 4 1/4, Carol.
Online bidder.
Next, we have a historic Civil War 35 star U.S. Navy ship's ensign flag, 8 feet by 18 feet. And what's your pleasure in this? 1,100, I have it now 12. I have 1,100, 1,200, I have it now 13, and now 14 on this rare flag. 14, now 15, 15, now 16, 16 and 17, 17 and 18. I have 18, now 19, 19, now 2,000. I have 2,000 and 21 and 22. At 2,100 on live, 22, 23 with, online with live auctioneer, 24 with Carol, 25, and now 2,750, 2,750, 3,000, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 3,750. At 3,500 is on live auctioneers on that rare piece. At 3,500 now 3,750. At 3,500 live auctioneers with Emily. At 3,500 once. At 3,500 twice. You won't find another one. All in, all done. At 3,500 with 3,750 and time with Carol. And now 4,000. Back to you, Em. At 3,750 on Carol's platform. And now 4,000. At 3,750 now 4,000 if you like it. At 3,750 and 4,000. At 3,750 and 4,000 if you want it. At 3,750 is on Carol's platform. Live auction is out. At 3,750 once. 3,750 twice. You want for 4,000? Carol, you got it. 3,750.
Online bidder.
Next, we have a Civil War autograph album by many Union luminaries. We have, on the left, please, 228 autographs from 1864 to 65 in original red leather binding. There's all kinds of quartermasters and, let's see, Ulysses Grant and Tecumseh, Sherman, Sheridan. It's got them all. Anyway, what's your pleasure on that? 2,500 and now 2,750. At 2,750 and 3,000. At 2,750 and 3,000. At 2,750 and 3,000 if you like it on that rare autograph album. 3,000 I have and now 3,250. At 3,000 with Emily on live auctioneers now 32 and a half. Won't find another one of these. At 3,000 now 32 and a half. At 3,000 with Emily. At 3,000 only with that great autograph album of all the dignitaries. 32 and a half and now 3,500. Think about it. At 32 and a half now 3,500. At 3,250 is going to sell it. 3,500 and 3,750 now. It's on live auctioneers at 3,500 and now 3,750. At $3,500 only on that rare album. At 3,500 now 3,750. Some great historical stuff here today. At 3,500 once. 3,500 twice. It's on live auctioneers and for 3,750 just in time. I was going to sell it and now 4,000 and now it's on Carol's platform. Back to you, Emily. At 3,750, need 4,000 now on that nice rare album. At 3,750 and 4,000 if you like it. At 3,750 once. 3,750 twice, and it's an important document. And 3,750 anymore, all in, all done. 3,750 once, twice, and it's sold. 3,750.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next, we have a group of Civil War letters from Sergeant John Emerson Anderson's 2nd Mass Volunteers. And what's your pleasure on this nice group of letters right here? 1,400, I have it now 1,500. I have 1,400 on live auctioneers and 15 now. I have 1,450, 15's on the floor and 1,600. 16 and now 17, 17 on the floor, now 18 and now 19. I have 1,800 with Emily on live auctioneers and now 1,900. It's important historical documents. 19 with Carol, now 2,000. 2,000 with Emily on live auctioneers, and now 2,100. I have 2,000, now 21 if you'd like it. 21 with Carol, now 22, and 22 on live auctioneers, and now 2,300. At 2,200, now 23. 23 with Carol, and 24. At 2,300 Carol's platform, and now 2,400. At 2,300 Carol, now 24. At 23 and 24 anymore? Last call at 2,324 if you'd like it. We all in, all done at 2,300 with Carol, and 24 if you want them. All in, all done at 2,300. Carol, 2,300.
Online bidder.
Next, we have a Civil War U.S. Army non-commissioned officer dress sword and with scabbard. And on the, what's your pleasure on that? 200 I have, and 2 1/4, and 2 1/2, and 275. 250, now 275. 275 and 300. At 275 and now 3 with Carol at 275 and 300. At 275 and that nice sword with the scabbard at 275 and 3 anymore. All in all, that 275 once, 275 twice is 275 Carol.
Online bidder.
We're on lot 1033 now. 1033, we have a Civil War U.S. Naval Officer's Sword, and on that right there, with the chagrin handle, brass trim. What's your pleasure on that one? 200 I have, and 2 1/4. I have 200 and 2 1/4, and nice 2 1/4 on the floor, and 2 1/2. 2 1/2 and 75 on the floor, and 300. At 275 is on the floor, and 300 if you like that nice sword. At 275 and 3. At 275, one slicing with 300. 275, number 30. Next we have a rare, 4-piece rare Lincoln memorabilia collection, including a Stephenograph armband. And on that right there, including mourning ribbon from Lincoln's procession by train, printed silk, and so on and so forth. A nice grouping of historical Lincoln memorabilia. What's your pleasure on that? 350 I have, and 375. I have 350 and 375 and 400. I have 370, 400 I have, and 4 1/4. I have 400, should be everywhere. I have 400, 4 1/4, and 4 1/2. I have 4 1/2 and 75, 75, 500. I have 500, 550, 550, 600. I have 550 and 600, 600, 650. I have 650, 700, 650 now 750 and go 8, 750, 800. I have 750 with Emily all the way. She has 2 players. I have 750 now 800, 800 on the phone. With Jared, 8.5 and now 9, Jared. 8.5 need 9. 9, now 950. I have 900 on the phone, now 950, 1,000 if you want it. I have 950s online, and live 1,000 I have. I have 1,000, 1,100 against you, Em. I have 1,000, 1,100 with Emily, now 1,200. I have 1,100, 1,200 I have, and now 1,300. I have 1,200 on the phone, 13 if you want it. I have 1,200 on the 13 I have, and 1,400. I have 1,300, now 1,400. It's 13 is on live auctioneers, need 14. 14 I have with Jared, now 1,500. I have 1,500 I have with Emily on live auctioneers, now 1,600. I have 1,500, now 1,600. 1,600 I have, now 1,700. 1,700 I have, now 1,800. I have 1,700 on live auction, 1,800 with Jared on the phone, and now 1,900. 1,900 now 2,000. I have 1,900 now 2,000 if you want it. 2,000 I have, and now 21. It's on the phone at 2,100 now 22. At 2,122 in those rare pieces. At 2,122 is on the phone with Jared, and 23. At 2,300 with Emily and live auction, and 24. At 2,300 now 24. 2,400 with Jared on the phone, and now 25. At 2,500 I have online on live auction is now 2,750. I have 2,500 now 2,750. I have 2,750 I have, and now 3,000. It's on the phone at 2,750 and 3,000. 3,000 I have, and now 32 and a half. I have 3,000 here and 32 and a half if you want it. At 3,000 on live auction is 32 and a half. At 3,000 now 32 and a half. These rare piece 32 and a half. Jared's back in on the phone at 35. I have 3,250 and 3,500. 3,500 with Emily. She's relentless, and 3,750. I have 3,500 there, 3,750. I have 3,500, 3,750. At 3,500 once. 3,500 twice, in for 3,750. We all good at 3,500. They're a rare piece. Any more? Once, twice, and Emily, 3,500. That was fun. I like it when there's a lot of action. Next we have 16 books on Lincoln memorabilia from the Haynes estate in Tennessee. What's your pleasure on these? What's your pleasure? How much? 50 and 60. I'm going to go through these quickly if there's no interest. I have 50 and 60 on 16 books in the history of Lincoln. I have 50 once, twice, in for $60. Any more? Sold, $50. Live auctioneers. Great group of books. Here we go. 11 books on Lincoln's family. And what's your pleasure on these? 50 and 60. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. And 50 and 60. Nice collection of Lincoln books. Any more? Once, twice. Emily got it. Live auctioneers. Next we have 12 titles and 17 volumes on Lincoln. What's your pleasure on these? What's your pleasure on these? 50 and 60. I have 50 with Emily and 60. I have 50 and 60. What a buy on these books. 60 with Carol, now 70. They're all unreserved. I have 60 now 70, 60 now 70 more. All in, all that. $60. Sold. $60. Carol, your way. Online bidder. Can't go wrong with this. Next we have 6 titles and 7 volumes of Lincoln by William E. Barton. What's your pleasure on these? 50, having 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Any more? All in, all that. 60, now 70. With Emily at 60 and live auction is now 70. At 60 and 70, 60, 70 more. All in, all done. Sold $60. Live auctioneers gets that group. Next we have 12 books on Lincoln, early 20th century. What's your pleasure on these? 50, having 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. No money for these books. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60, but they got to go. We got to finish up this estate. Any more than $50? Once, twice, and for 60, 50 it is. Live auctioneers. And we have 14 books on Lincoln. What's your pleasure on these? What's your pleasure on these? 14 books on Lincoln. 50 I have with Carol, now 60. I 60, now 70. I 60 and 70 and 60 and 70 more. 60 once, twice in for $70. $60. Live auctioneers. That's the end of the books. All right. Next we go to, hey, I got an unmarked European rifle offering a mysterious raised block rifle with only some Belgian manufacturer's marks. What's your pleasure in this? 50 I have, and 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Any more? All in all, the $50. A nice hanger to put over the mantle. I have 50 and 60. Any more? Sold, $50.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Collins number 22 machete with scabbard. What's your pleasure in this? 60, now 70. I have 60, now 70. It's got a horn handle. I have 60, now 70, and a tooled leather, a very interesting tool leather scabbard.
70.
It has the Collins with a crown handle with a mallet. It's marked number 14. 90, now 100. If you're going out in the bush, you need one of these. 90, now 100, 90, now 100. Any more? And 90 once, 90 twice, you're in for a $100 bill. Any more? 100 I have, and now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, 100 now quarter. Nice horn handle. I have 100 once, twice, and for 1 1/4. Sold, $100. Next we have a NEF Podner model SB1 shotgun 20 gauge. What's your pleasure on this? 250 I have, and 275. I have 250 and 275 at 250 and 75. At 250 and 275 at 250 and 75. Any more? All in all done at 250 with Carol. Any more? Once, twice, gone, 250.
Online bidder.
Next we have a reproduction percussion lock pistol 45 caliber. What's your pleasure on this fun guy? 80 I have, and now 90. It's got such nice patina on it, it looks real. I have 80 now 90. I have 80 now 90. Jared's holding that at 80 now 90, 80 now 90 more. That's a nice hand. These all had to be handmade, you know. I have 80 now 90. Nice engraving, brass trim. Any more? Sold, $80.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Sporterized Springfield 3-A3 30-06. And what's your pleasure on that nice rifle right there? 200 I have, and now 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. I 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Anyone for 2 1/2? Any more? 2 1/2 on the floor and 275. I have 250 seated straight ahead of me at 250 and 275. On the floor at 250 and 75. Any more? Yours, sir. 250 to 32. 250 to number 32 on the floor. Next we have a Frank Wesson tip-up rifle, 25 caliber rimfire. Look at that guy. And what's your pleasure on that?
3 1/4.
3 1/4, of course, and 3 1/2. I 3 1/4. What an unusual gun. A 3 1/4 and 3 1/2, a 3 1/4, 3 1/2 seems awfully low for that. I 3 1/4, 3 1/2. At 3 1/4 once, twice, and for 350. All in, all done. 3 1/4. All in, all done, and sold. 3 1/4.
Live auctioneer.
Next we have a Colt single action Army revolver 3840. And what's your pleasure on this? I have 500 on the floor. I have how much? 1,000. I like it 1,100 and 1,200. I have 1,100 on the floor now. 12 and 13. 13 on the floor and 1,400. I have 13 on the floor and 1,400. I have 13 gentlemen right. 14 over there and 15 now. I have 1,400 with Emily now. 1,500. I have 1,400 now. 15 with Emily at 1,415 on live auctioneers at 1,415 anymore. Last call at 1,400 to 1,500. 1,400 once, twice. Anyone for 1,500? You want to go one more time?
Sure.
1,500. Make them pay if you're not going to get it. I have 1,500 now, 1,600. I have 1,500 now, 16 on the floor, 15, 16 selling. Once, twice, and sold. 1,500. Worked. 95. 1,500 to 95. Sometimes that one more bid does it. Next, we have a Winchester Model 1894 saddle ring carbine. 32. Another right here. What's your pleasure on this one? 650 I have, and now 700 at 650 and 700. At 650 and 700, 650 and 700. A nice Winchester lever action saddle ring 700, of course, and 750. I have 700 now, 7.5 at 700, 7.5. At 700, 7.5 anymore. 700 once, 700 twice, and for 750. All in, all done. They're not all unreserved. Any more? Carol, 700.
Online bidder.
All right, we're moving on quickly now to 1049. 1049 is a Springfield Model 1888 rifle with rod and bayonet, 4570. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on that rare Springfield? 375 and 4 now. I 375 and 400, 375 and 4. Seems reasonable for that one. I 375 and 400, 375 and 4. Any more? 400 I have and 4 and a quarter. Look how clean that is. Looks like it just came out of the box. Wow. That is a clean gun. What do we got, Carol? 4 and a quarter and 4 and a half. 4 and a half. Of course, 475, 500. I have 475 and 500. I have and now 550. I have 500, 550. Real low on that. I have 500 now 550 and 550 anymore. All in all, then at 500 and 550, 600. I have 550 and 600. With Carol at 550 and 600. Still seems reasonable for that gun. Very clean. I have 550 and 600, 550 and 600 anymore. Once, twice, 600 in time. Thank you, Carol. And now 6.5. Nice gun. At 600, now 650. At 650, and now 700. Still under the money. I have 650 and 7 and 650 and 7 with Carol all the way now at 650 and 700. That nice, clean gun from 1888. I have 650 and 700 in time and 750. I have 700 and 750. Wouldn't work so hard if it wasn't such a nice gun. I have 7 and now 750. 700 once, 700 twice. Aim for 750. Last call. Sold. Carol, 700.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Whitney Navy revolver, 36 caliber. And what's your pleasure in that revolver right there?
650.
650 I have and 700. We have 650 and 700 in that rare revolver. At 650 and 700, 650 and 7. At 650 and 700, 700 of course, and 7.5, 800. I have 750 now 800 quickly. I have 800 and 8.5. At 800 now 8.5. At 800 and a half, 800 and 8.5. That vintage weapon. At 800 now 8.5. At 800 Carol all the way now 8.5 if you'd like it. I have 800 once, 800 twice, and for 850. All in all that 800, 850 in time and now 9. I have 850 now 900s. With Emily on live auction is 850, 900. I have 850 now 9. At 850 once, twice even for 900. 850 all in, all then at 850, 900. 900 in time with Carol, now 9.5 we need. I have 900 now 950. At 900 now 950, 900, 950. At 900 once, 900 twice, even for 950. All in, all done at $900, that revolver. A Whitney Navy revolver, 36 caliber. I have $900 with Carol, correct? Need 950. Any more? Once, twice, and Carol, your guy got it, 900.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Winchester 1894 rifle 3855. This is another lovely gun. These are all from the same family. And on that right there, may we have what?
900.
900. I have a 1200. I have a 1300. I have 1200 now 13 at 12 and 13. 13 on the floor and 14. 14 now 15 is on the floor and 16. 16 to 17. The floor is out. I have 16 with Jen on FC bid at 16 to 1700. At 1600 now 17 at 16 17 anymore. All in all on 1600 once. 1600 twice with Jen at 1600. Floor is out. Internet's out. You're in.
1600 to 377.
1600, 377. Got it. Next we have a Sporterized NRA Winchester Model 1895 musket rifle 30-06. And what's your pleasure in this gun right here?
3 and a
3
quarter.
and a quarter. I have in 3.5 and 375. 375, 400 on the floor and 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, 4.5. I have 4.5 there and 475. I have 450 and 475. With Carol at 450 and 475 we need. I have 450 looking for 475. I'm going to sell it. I have 450 and 475 and a nice weapon right there at 450 once, 450 twice, went for 475. We all in, all done at 450, 475. It's 450 then.
Online bidder.
Next we go, the Winchester Model 94 Settle Ring Carbine 30. What's your pleasure on this one? I have 1,000, now 1,100. 1,100, now 12. 1,100, now 12, 11 and 12, 11 and 12. 1,200 on the phone with Jared, now 13. 13 with Jen, now 14. I have 1,300, now 1,400. 1,400, I have now 15. She's out. I have 14 on the phone at 1,500. I have 1,400 and 15 and 14 and 15 and 14, 15 anymore. All in all done, 1,400 once, twice, and for 1,500. Jared.
1400, number 353.
353. Jared gets it on the phone. 1,400. A lot of interest in this one. A lot of interest in this one. Zeb, by the way, is our fantastic cataloger of weaponry, and he's been with us for a while now, and is doing all kinds of stuff. Very unusual, Zeb said, to find him in a nickel finish. Is that correct?
Well, factory nickel finish.
Factory nickel finish. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on that?
650.
650 I have and 700. I have 650 and 700, 650 and 7. I have 650 and 700, 650 and 700. I thought it'd be a lot more than that. At 650 is the nickel Mauser C96 pistol, 7.63, 700, of course, and 750, 750, 800. I have 750 now, 800 I have it now, 8.5. At 8.5, 900 I have it now, 1,000. I have 950 now, 1,000. I have 950 now, 1,000, 950 now, 1,000. We carry 950 and 1,000 if you want it. I have 950 and 1,000 if you want it. I have 1,000 I have it now, 1,100. I have 1,000 now, 1,100, 1,000, 1,100. At $1,000, 1,100 if you want it. A rare gun at $1,000, 1,100. Any more? All in, all done at only $1,000 in that rare gun with a nickel finish. I have 1,000 once, 1,000 twice, going for 1,100. All in, all done?
11.
And time, 11, I almost sold it. I have 1,100 now, 12. I have 1,100 now, 12, 11, 12. Wouldn't work so hard if it wasn't such a rare piece. I have 1,100 with Emily now, 1,200. 1,100 once, 1,100 twice, and for 1,200, it's going to go. All in, all done. Emily, 1,100.
5 auctioneers.
These are still all from the same family. Next, we have a Winchester model 1873 30 at 40 at Winchester. And what's your pleasure on this? I have 500 and 550, 700. I have even 750 with Jen. Now 800, now 8.5. At 800, now 8.5. At 800, 8.5. At 800, now 8.5. At 800, 8.5. At 8.5, and now 9. 9, now 950. Nice weapon. I have 900, now 950 on that early Winchester. I have 900, now 9.5. At 900, 9.5, 900, 9.5. Any more? Jared's holding it at $900 only, $950 if you want that nice Winchester lever action. $950 and $1,000. $1,000, Carol? $1,000 I have it now, 11. I have 1,000 now, 1,100, 1,000, 1,100. At only $1,000, 1,100 if you want that nice weapon. I have 1,000 once, 1,000 twice. Going to sell it. Don't lose it for a $100 bill. 1,100 on the floor, now 1,200. 1,100, 12 on the floor, 11 and 12. 11 and 12, a nice weapon at 1,100 and 1,200. Any more? All in, all done. 1,100 is going to the floor. The floor. 1,100 to 107. Next, we have a Winchester 1892 rifle, 38 caliber. And what's your pleasure on this guy? 750. I have an 800. I have 750 and 800, 800, 8.5. At 800, 8.5. At 800, 8.5. At 800, 8.5. Another good gun right here. 8.5 and now 9. 8.5 and now 9. This should be bringing a lot more. 8.5 and now 9. 8.5 and now 9. With Carol at 850, now 900. At 850, now 900. Now 950. I'm 900, 950. Should have started at 1,000. I have 900 now, 950. At 900, 950 and 1,000 now. I have 950 now, 1,000. I have 950 and only 950 now, $1,000. That's a great Winchester. I have 950,000. I have, of course, now 1,100. I have 1,000 with Carol, now 11. I have $1,000 with Carol, now 1,100. Looking for 1,100. I have $1,000 only with Carol online at $1,000, 1,100 if you like it. It's a nice gun, reasonable. Any more? 1,000 once, 11 and 12, 11 and time, and now 12. 1,100, 12. Wouldn't work so hard, it wouldn't work so much more. I have 1,100 now, 12, 11 and 12, 11 and 12. 12, I have now 13. I should have started at 1,500, but it's all right. It's going to be sold. It's on reserve. I have 1,200 now, 1,300. I have 1,200 once, 1,200 twice. You're going to lose it any more than 1,200. 13 if you want it. Once, twice, and it's gone. 1,200. Carol.
Online bidder.
Okay, here we go. We have a Winchester model 1886 4570. A 4570 Winchester. What's your pleasure on this one? 2,100 to open and now 22. I have 2,100, let's just lot 1057. I have 2,100 now 22. I have 2,122 and 2,100 2,200 if you want it. At 2,100 once, 2,100 twice in for 2,200 on that rifle right there. 2,100 anymore. All in, all done. At 2,100 with Carol at 2,100. Scared them all off, Carol. You got it. 2,100.
Online bidder.
And next, the star of the show. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is all from the same collection still. This is the last one from that family. Then we're going into another family. Anyway, on this right here, this is the Winchester Model 1866 Yellow Boy Rifle 44 Henry style. And what is your pleasure in this lovely gun right here? 4,500 I have, and now 4,750 I have, and now 5,000. I have 4,750 immediately on the phone, now 5,000. I have 4,750, now 5,000 if you like it. I have 4,750 and 5,000 on the phone at 4,750 with Gerald, and 5,000 if you want it. I have 4,750 once, 4,750 twice, you went for 5,000. We all in, all done at 4,750. All in, all done? You got it. Phone.
323.
323 4750. Next we have, so that's the end of that family's items. Now we have a 38-star United States flag from the Indian War era, 57 inches by 98 inches. What's your pleasure on this rare flag? What's your pleasure on this one? There we have what? A couple $1,000, set it in. Anyone for 2,000? Anyone for 2,000? Nobody's interested in this flag? Anyone for 2,000? No interest in the flag? Any interest in the flag? Pass it away. We got to move on. Got a lot of stuff to sell. Next we have a circa 1880 rare 38-star huge naval ensign flag, medallion star pattern, 10 by 16 feet. And what's your pleasure on this one? Then we have what? A couple $1,000. Kick it in. 2,000. We submitted 2,000 to go. And he went to $2,000 on the flag, and he said 2,000. Nobody interested in that flag? Pass that one away too then. Next we have another flag. This is a circa 1880 used 38-star flag, garrison flag, Indian Wars era, 10 by 16 feet. What's your pleasure on this one? Maybe we have $1,000 and set it in. $1,000 where instead of $1,000 to go. Instead of 1,000. Nobody wants that one? Pass that away too. Then we have this last one right here. This last one right here is a circa 1880 Horseman American Garrison flag, 38 stars, 9 by 19 feet. Look at the size of that piece. Anyone for $1,000 set it in. $1,000 wearing these great rare flags. Survivors of all these years. 38 star was admission to Colorado. And on that right there, anyone for 1,000. Nobody wants that? Pass away. Next we have, and the last one is a 45-star flag right there. It is 5.6 by 9.6. And what's your pleasure on this one? 1.25 and 1.5. A 1.25, 1.5, a 1.25, 1.5. A 1.25, 1.5, a 1.25, 1.5 on that nice flag. At 1.25, 1.5. Going to sell it. It's unreserved. A 1.25, 1.5. Any more? Sold 1.25.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. No flag, guys. Oh, here we go. A naval boarding cutlass, an early naval boarding cutlass like the pirates used. And on that right there, what's your pleasure? 3.25 and 3.5. At 3.25 and 3.5, at 3.25, 3.5. At 3.25, 3.5, at 3.25, 3.5. Any more? With Carol at 3.25. Any more? 3.25, 3.5 on there. Naval boarding cutlass. 3.5 and 75. Hey, Bob. At 3.5, now 3.75. At 3.50 and 3.75. At 3.50 once, 3.50 twice. Anyone for 3.75? Any more? It's 3.50 Carol. 3.50 online bidder. 10.65 coming right up. 1065 is an early 19th century French Navy bicorn hat in the original box. In the original box. And what's your pleasure in this? Look at that great period box. This is all gold, gold plated on here. And on that right, your pleasure. 250 I have, and 270, 75, 300, 300, 3.25, 3.5, 75, 400, 400, 4.25. I have 400 Carol, now 4.25. I have 400 now, 4.25, 4 and 4.25 anymore. Last caller, 400, 4.25. All in, all in. 400. Any more? 4.25, anyone? Sold, 400.
Online bidder.
Next we have a cannon. This is lovely little cannon right here. It has a snake by the touch hole. There's a raised snake with looks like oak leaves under his feet. Wonderful little early cast iron cannon on a brass and wood carriage. What's your pleasure on that? 60 I have, and 70 I have, and now 80 here, now 90. I have 80 on the floor, now 90 on that nice early cannon. I have 80 now, 90, 80 now, 90. I have $80 now, 90 anymore. All in, all done at only $80. That's a nice little cannon. 90 now, 100. 100 on the floor, now quarter. It's on the floor at 100 now, quarter. 100 now, quarter, 100 now, quarter. I think the cannon's older than the carriage. I have 100 now, quarter, 100 now, quarter anymore. And that nice early signal cannon, I have 100 once in cast iron, 100 twice in for 1.25. $100, number 89. Next we have another cannon on this one right here. Oh, look at this one. Wow. This is a beautiful bronze cannon right here. And Dave's got all the cannonballs. That's great, Dave. Thanks. On this bronze cannon, it's sort of in the Dutch style with a raised decoration, and it looks like it's on a rosewood or mahogany carriage. And on that right there, nice condition. What's your pleasure on this one? 175 and 200. At 175 and 2, 175 and 2. That's a nice little cannon. At 175 and 2 anymore. All in, all done at only $175. Jesus, that's not, with all the cannonballs. At 200, 200 here, 2 and a quarter. I have 200 now, 2 and a quarter. I have 200 now, 2 and a quarter, 200, 2 and a quarter anymore. At 200 once, twice on the floor, 200, 2 and a quarter. Nice trade. 200 number 90. 200 to number 90. Nice little signal cannon. They said it's a desk model, so you fire it when you need your assistant. If she's far away, or he's far away. Next, we have an early Lantaka bronze swivel cannon, and these were on swivel cannons were on the ship so they could move around. This one has a little dog on top of it, and a dragon coming off the top of it. Nice early patina on that one. What's your pleasure on that? 175 and 200. 175 and 200, 200 and 2 and a quarter. 2 and a quarter. This is an early one. 2 and a quarter and 2 and a half. 2 and a half and 275. 275 and 300. At 275 and now 3. At 300 I have them 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter and 3 and a half. I 3 and a quarter and 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. At 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half anymore. At 3 and a half and 75. I 350 now 375. I 350 now 375 anymore. At 350 once, 350 twice, 375. It's a nice little cannon. Anymore. Who's got the 350? Carol. Anyone for 375? Carol, 350 then.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Some great stuff here. Here's a fun thing. Vintage Marlin firearms right here. Shop advertisement. What's your pleasure in this?
300.
300 I have to open and 3 and a quarter. I 300 on live auctioneers and 3 and a quarter. I 300, 3 and a quarter, 3 and 3 and a quarter anymore. That's 3 all over the place. I saw you first. 3 and a quarter. 3 and a half there. 375 would you go? Would you go 375? Yes, 400. 400, 4 and a quarter. I have 400 on the on live auction. 4 and a quarter with Carol now. 4 and a half with Emily. 475. I 450 now. 475. I 475 with Carol. 500 I have and 550. I 500 now. 550 and 550. 501 with Emily once. 500 twice. And he went for 550. All in all done. 500. That great sign. Any more? It was in a barn here in Maine. Any more? 500 Emily.
Live auctioneer.
Next we have Norman Rockwell. This one's called Freedom from Fear, one of the 4 freedoms. These are original calotypes of 1943, and they're signed by Norman Rockwell, who was a neighbor to these people that own these. And what's your pleasure on these? Maybe we have $1,000 to set it in. $1,000 way to set it in, $1,000. These cost a fortune in a store. They're $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 when they're pencil signed. Anyone for 1,000, 750, 500. Anyone for 500? Anyone for 500? That rare print by signed by Norman Rockwell. Passed away then. Moving right along. Next one of the 4 freedoms. This is just in time for Thanksgiving. Freedom from want. From the 4 Freedoms section of Prince, Calotype 1943, signed by the artist again to this family. What's your pleasure on this one? Then we have $1,000 to set it in. $1,000 where to set it in? 750, 500, 500. Pass that away then. Next item. Next we have Norman Rockwell, Freedom of Worship. One of the 4 Seasons, 1943, pencil signed by the artist again to the family. And what's your pleasure on this one? If we have $1,000 to set it in, 1,000 where? 750, 500, 500. Pass it away. Hold on, we've got 500 and now 550. I have 500 now, 550 and 500 now, 550. Way under the money fees. They retail $3,000-$4,000 a piece. I have 500 now, 550. 500 once, 500 twice. Going to sell it anymore with Carol at 500. Gone. 500, Carol.
Online bidder.
All right, 1073. The last of the Norman Rockwells. This is Freedom of Speech, one of the 4 freedoms, 1943, pencil signed. What's your pleasure on this one? 1,300, now 1,400. We need this one more than ever. I 1,300, now 1,400. I 1,300 and 1,400. I 1,300, now 14 and 13 and 14 anymore. All in all then, 1,300 with Carol. Selling once, twice, and sold. Carol, 1,300.
Online bidder.
Next we have more weapons. Now these are all from another estate in Rockland, or Rockport. Davis Industries, D32 Derringer pistol, 32 caliber. What's your pleasure on that? 250, I have it, the original box is mint condition. I have 250 and 275. I have 250 and 275 and 250 and 75 anymore. At 250 once, 250 twice, 275 on the floor and 300. I 275 is on the floor. I love them when they're in the boxes in mint condition like that. I 275 on the floor and 300. I 275 once, twice, in for 300. I'd have bought that one too. 275, number 107. 275, 107. Next we have the same family, a Phoenix Arms HP 25A pistol, 25 caliber. What's your pleasure on this? Nice clean little piece. Again, this is all from the same family. What's your pleasure on this one?
100.
100 I have, and now quarter. I have 100 now quarter. 100 quarter I have, now 1/2. I 1 1/4, 1/2, 1 1/4, 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1/2, 1 1/4, 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, and now 175. I 150, now 175. I 150, now 175, at 150, 175. At 150, 175, at 150, 175. That's a nice clean gun. I 150 here, now 175 anymore? Once, twice, anymore. 150 over there, 69, 150, 69. Next we have a gun accessory lot as the headphones and holsters and all kinds of stuff. What's your pleasure on that lot? 50, having 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 and all that accoutrements. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 anymore? All in all, $50, 60 if you want it. It's $50 then.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have a NEFR 73 revolver 32 caliber Harrington Richardson. On the Harrington Richardson, what's your pleasure on that? 1 1/4 and 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1/2, at 1 1/4, 1/2. Nice clean weapons for these folks. At 1 1/4, 1/2. At 1 1/2, at 1 1/4, 1 at 1 1/4, 1/2. Like I don't know. At 1 1/2 anymore. Sold 1 1/4. Emily.
Live auctioneer.
Next we have a Swiss M 1914 Pioneer bayonet. A Pioneer bayonet from the same family again. Look at this. This must be for cutting down trees or something, wouldn't you think, Dave? Look, it's like brand new condition. What's your pleasure on that?
100.
100 I have, and now 1 1/4. I have 100 now, 1 1/4, 100, 1 1/4. I have only $100, 1 1/4 for that incredible bayonet. It's like brand spanking new. If you've got some limbs on the property, you need to take off some limbs, that would do it. I 100 now, 1 1/4. I 100 once, twice, in for 1 1/4. Thank you, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2 anymore. At 1 1/4 once, twice, in for 1 1/2. You got it. 1 1/4, 107. 125, 107 buys. Next we have a High Point JHP pistol, 45 caliber with the holster, and that looks like it's like brand new too. They had all these guns were stored in the closet, just like brand new. Anyway, what's your pleasure on this one? 50, I have 60, I have 70. I have 60 now, 70, 60 now, 70 on the floor now, 880 now, 90. I have 90 here, now 100. I have 90, 100 now, quarter. I have 100 now, quarter, 100 now, quarter. No money for that one. 100 a quarter, thank you, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2, at 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2 anymore. All in all, then at 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Seems reasonable. I bet it's 400 or 500 in the store. 1 1/4, 32. 1 1/4 to 32 on the floor. Next we have FIE Titan pistol, 25 caliber on that little guy right there. Another one with a holster, just like brand new again. What's your pleasure on this one?
1 1/4.
1 1/4 and 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 150. Now 175. I 150 now 175. At 150, 175. At 150, 175 anymore. At 150 once, twice, in for 175. All in all, then 1 1/2, 175. 150 to number 49. All right, we're still on that same estate. Still on that same estate. Next we have a Walther P22, 22 caliber pistol long rifle, and on that with the holster and the magazine, just like brand new. What's your pleasure on that one? 175 and 200. I have 175 and 200 on the Walther and 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4, 200, 2 1/4. 2 1/4 here and 2 1/2. I have 2 1/2 there and 275. I have 250 now, 275. It's like brand new. I have 250 now, 275. 275 is on the floor and 300. I have 275 and 300, 275 and 3 anymore. All in, all done at 275 on the Walther. 275, 107 buys, 275. Next we have a Stoger Uplander shotgun, 20 gauge, and on that Stoger with a place to put the shells. On the stock. What's your pleasure on that nice clean gun? 100 I have. It's from the same family. 100, 1 1/4, and on the floor, 1 1/2. I have 1 1/4 on the floor, 1 1/2 of that nice 20 gauge shotgun. I have only 1 1/4 on the floor and 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2 anymore. All in all, then at 125. Once, twice, anyone for 150. 150 in time, and 175 would you go? 175 is on the floor now, 200. At 175 on the floor and 200. At 175 and 2, 175 and 2 anymore. Selling once, selling twice. It's on the floor at 175. So 175 to 32. 175 to 32. Next we have a gunsmith special. Gunsmith special right there. 2 revolvers. What's your pleasure on these? 50, I have 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 anymore. At 60, now 70. I have 60 now 70, 60 now 70. At 60 now 70, 60 now 70 more. All in all, on $60 with Emily and 60 and 70 more. Any more? $60 Emily.
Live auctioneer.
Live auctioneers. Next we have a rifle pistol ammo lot. This is from the same family. And what's your pleasure on that lot of ammunition? 90 I have, and now 100. I have 90 now, 100, 90 now, 100. At 90 now, 100, 90 now, 100. On all that ammunition, boy, the stuff costs a lot in the store now. I have 90 once, 90 twice, in for a $100 bill. Any more? Emily, 90.
Live auctioneer.
Next we have a Ruger Mark 1 pistol, 22 long rifle. What's your pleasure on this one with the holster? 250 I have, and now 275, 300. I have 300 over here on the floor, 300 on the floor, and 3 1/4 over there, and 3 1/2, 3 1/2 over here on the left, the gentleman standing, 3 1/2, and now 375. I 350 and 75, 375 and 400. I 375 with Emily, now 4. I 375 with Emily online and live auctioneers at 375 and 400. I 375 once, twice, and for 400, all in all 375. Any more? Emily, 375.
Live auctioneer.
Still on the same estate again. A German Makarov pistol, 9mm, MAK. Ooh, isn't that nice? With 3 clips. That's like brand new too. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on this one? 3 1/4 and 3 1/2, 3 1/2 and 375. I 350 and 375. I 350 and 375 and 350 and 75. At 350 with Carol on 375 with Emily on live auctioneers and 400. I 375 and 4. Where's all our gun guys that are usually here? I 375 and 400. I 375 and now 4. At 375 and 400 anymore. All in all at 375, 400 is 375 then.
Live auctioneer.
Next we have, this is a AA Arms AP9 pistol. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on this one? 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. I had 2 1/4, that's a cool ring. I had 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and 2 1/2 and 275. At 250 and 275, at 250 and 275. At 250, 275 anymore. At 250 and 275. Gonna sell. 250 once, twice, him for 275 on the floor. I saw him first, just as you spoke. I had 275 and 300 now. I 275 is on the floor and 300. At 275 and 3. At 275 and 3. Unusual looking weapon. At 275 and 300. At 275 once, twice, him for 300. 275, number 32. Next we have a Chinese Type 56 XKS rifle with attachments. And on that right there, we have 400 on the floor, now 4 1/4. 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. 4 1/4, 4, it even has a stand. 4 1/2 and 75, 500, 500, 550. I have 500 now, 550 and 500 and 550 on that target gun. I have 500 now, 550 and 500 and 550 more. At 500 once, twice, and for 550. All in all, then 500 with Carol, is that correct? With Carol at 500 only. 500 once, twice, and for 550. It's Carol 500.
Online bidder.
Lot 1089 coming right up. 1089 is a Lithgow SMLE Mac 3 rifle with bayonet, 303 British. And on that right there, I have 500 open on the floor and 550 now. I have 500 now, 550 and 550, 600. I have 550 and 600. I have 550, this same estate again. I have 550 and 600, 550 and 600 anymore. At 550 once, twice, and for 600. With Carol now, everyone else is out. 550 once, twice, and for 600. We all good? Carol, 550. Next we have a Smith & Wesson MDL 64-3 revolver 38 special. That right there, what we had, a nice one in a chrome finish, a brushed steel finish. What's your pleasure on that?
3
3 1/4
1/4.
and 3 1/2. I 3 1/2 and 375. I 350 now 375. I 350 and 75 anymore. 375, 400. I 375 and 4. I 375 and 4 and 375 and 4 anymore. All in all, then 375 with Carol at 370, 400 with Carol and 4 1/4. I have 400 now 4 1/4. It's like brandy new. I have 400 now 4 1/4. 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 4 1/4 and a half. 4 1/2, 475.
I have 4 1/4.
4 1/4 with Carol looking for 4 1/2. I have 4 1/4 looking for 4 1/2 anymore. 4 1/4 once, twice, and for 4 1/2. All in, all done. We are Carol 4 1/4.
Online bidder.
Next we have an M1 carbine, 30 caliber, and on that right there, with your pleasure, I have 600 to open.
7.
Not even better. 750, 800. I have 750 now 800. I have 750 now 800. 750 now 8. As 750 now 800. 750 now 800 anymore. All in all done. It's 750 and 800 if you like it. Who has the 750 so far? Carol has 750 now 800. I have 750 on the carbine and 800 if you want it. 750 once, twice, anymore. Carol 750.
Online bidder.
Thank you. Next we have a Browning MDL 1885 high wall rifle with scope 30-06. On that right there, look, the nice condition of that. I have what? I have 5 on the floor, now 550. 550, 600. I have 550, now 600. 600, 650, no. I have 600 Carol, now 650. I have 600 with Carol and 650 if you want it. I have $600 only on that nice Browning 30-06. I have only 600, now 650. Like new condition with a great scope. I have 600 once, 600 twice, went for 650. Any more? All in, all done is 600. Reasonable. Carol, 600.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Winchester Model 52 rifle with Lyman Super Target Spot Scope, 22 long rifle. And what's your pleasure in this?
27.50.
27, look at that gun. 3,000 I have and 32 and a half. I have 3,000, now 32 and a half. At 3,000, now 32 and a half. At 3,000, 32 and a half. Absentee bid at 3,000, now 32 and a half. Any more? All in, all done at 3,000, 32 and a half. On the phone, 3,500, and now 3,750. I 3,500, now 3,750. I 3,500, 3,750, and now 4,000. I 3,750 and 4,000. I 3,750 and 4,000 anymore. All in, all done, 3,750 once. It's on the phone. Twice, anyone for 4,000. You got it, 3,750.
Number 340.
340, 3,750. Next we have this rare Stinger pen pistol, 25 caliber. 25 caliber, look at this. Isn't that interesting? We saw it sitting on the shelf in the house, said that's an interesting pen. And then you turn it, do you know how to open it?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. So the pen becomes a weapon. There's the trigger right there. And on that right there, with the original holster, I think it has the papers with it too, doesn't it? You want to hold it right there? Papers and everything right in it. Anyway, what's your pleasure on that? What's your 500 I have, and now 550. 550 and 600. I have 600 on the floor and 650. I have 600 on the floor and 650 in that rare piece. I have 600 now, 650. I have 600 and 650 on the Stinger. I have 600 now, 650. At only $600 in selling, at 600 once, 600 twice, and for 650, all in all, and only 600. Reasonable for that rare piece. You got it, 600 to 89. 600 to 89 on the floor. Next we have a Polytech AKS 2223 rifle. On that there, what's your pleasure? May I have $1,000 set it in. 1,100 and 12 and 13. I have 13 and 14, 14 and 15, 15 and 16. No. I have 15 with Emily, now 1,600. I have 1,500 with Emily and 1,600. I have 1,516 anymore. 1,500 once, 1,500 twice. You went for 1,600. Emily, 1,500. Next we have a Mossberg Model 85 bolt-action shotgun, 20 gauge. What's your pleasure on this one?
20.
What?
20.
No, that's the gauge. That's on the Mossberg. I have 20 with Carol, now 30. 30 on the floor, now 40. 40, now 50. 50 on the floor and 60. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. I have 50 once, 50 twice, and for 60. It's on the floor at $50. Any more? Once, twice, and 32. $50, 32. $50 of 32. Gentlemen seated in the audience. Next we have shotgun ammo lot. What's your pleasure on all this? 60. I have now 70. I have 60 now, 70 on all the shotgun ammo. 60 now, 70, 60 now, 70. At 70 now, 80. I have 80 now, 90. I have 80 now, 90, 80 now, 90. 80 once, 80 twice, in for $90. All in all, at $80. We good? We are $80. Live auctioneers gets that one. All right, on to the next item. We have a lot of miscellaneous hand weapons, and there's only 2 more lots from this estate. And on all these weapons right here, all the blades, what's your pleasure on these? 50, having 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and all those nice blades. They're 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. You couldn't buy one of them for that in a store. I have 50, 60, 60 here and 70. I have 60 now, 70, 60 now, 70. 70 over here, now 80. 80 here, now 90. 90 now 100. 100 now a quarter. 1 1/4, no money for those. I have 100 now a quarter, 100 1/4 for 4 of them. I have 100, that's $25 a piece. I have 1 1/4, thank you, 1 1/2. No, I 1 1/4 in the back, gentleman seated, 1 1/4 by the pole, 1 1/4 once, twice, yours, 1 1/4, number 97. 125 to 97. Next we have, these we found an estate in Massachusetts. So we're down in the basement, and I'm digging through this trunk, right? And I see this thing, and I said, I wonder what happens if you pull out the pin. Everybody ran. Anyway, it's empty, so don't worry. We would never put you in danger. So all of these are empty, but a fun thing to use at Halloween. Now, what's your what's your pleasure? Give me the candy or else. What's your pleasure? How much? 60, now 70, 70, now 80. I have 70, now 80, 70, now 80. At 70, now 80. Any more? All then, who is the 80 with Carol? Now 90. And 90 with Emily. And now 100. I have 90, now 100. Now 100 I have, now a quarter. I have 100 now a quarter, 100 now a quarter. 100 now a quarter. Any more? All in all then, $100, 100 a quarter. Any more? Once, twice, and 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2. All in all at 1 1/4, 1 1/2. It's 1 1/4. Carol. Makes a nice paperweight. Next we have miscellaneous firearm magazines, a boatload of magazines right there. What's your pleasure on those? 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Boy, if you've got one piece that needs a magazine, you've got them right there. I've got 1 1/4, 1 1/2. A 1 1/4, 1 1/2 anymore? Last call at 1 1/4, 1 1/2 with Carol at 1 1/4 for all the magazines. Any more? 1 1/4, Carol. All right, we were done with that last estate. Now we're working on the third estate with weapons. And here we have a 45 caliber ammo lot, Wolf ammo lot right there. What's your pleasure on that lot? 80, 90, 100, 100, now quarter and a half. I want a half, 75. No, I 150 with Carol online at 150, 175, 150, 75. Any more? So 150, Carol. Online bidder. Next we have a rifle carbine ammo lot from the same family. And what's your pleasure on this one? 70. I have it now 80. I have 70 now 80, 70 now 80. Quickly, going to sell it. 70 once, 70 twice, and all that ammo. Any more? Sold. $70, Carol. Next we have pleasure on this whole lot. 100 I have now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, 100 now quarter. 100 once, twice, in for 1 1/4. Sold. $100. 1 1/4, almost sold it. 1 1/4 in time, Carol. And 1 1/2, a 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 1 1/4 once, twice, in for 150. It's sold. 1 1/4, Carol. Next we have pistol and ammo lot. Look at this one in 2 military ammo containers. What's your pleasure on that group? 175 and now 200. At 175 and 2, 175 and 2. At 175 and 200 any more. 175 once, twice, in for 200 on all the ammo in those metal containers. Any more? Sold. 175. And moving right along here, we are now on 11, coming up on 1105. And 1105 is check surplus ammunition. Surplus ammunition, and on that right there, what's your pleasure? 175 and 200, 200 and 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4, 2 and 2 1/4, never opened. I have 200, 2 1/4 in the metal military case. Where are we, Emily? 200 I have into 2 1/4. I have 200 once, twice, in for 2 1/4. It's sold 200. Next we have more ammo. This is 7.62 by 39, a Wolf ammo lot. What's your pleasure in this?
300.
300 I have, and now 3 1/4. I have 300 now, 3 1/4, 300, 3 1/4. I have 300 with Emily and 3 1/4 anymore. 300 once, twice, and it's 300 Emily. Live auctioneers. Next we have, oh, here we go. We're out of ammo now. And we have this rare G and JW Hawksley powder flask, a rare, unusual little powder flask right here. Has a double barrels on the bottom. And what's your pleasure in that piece?
1 1/4.
1 1/4 and 1 1/2. I 1 1/4, 1 1/2 on that rare powder flask at 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Early 1 1/2 and 175 on that nice period piece. Beautiful condition. 150 now, 175. At 150 once with Emily on Live Auctioneers. Only 150, 175 anymore. It's 150 Emily. Next we have a Stevens Marksman 12 rifle, 25 caliber Stevens. And what's your pleasure on this one here?
80.
80 and now 90. 80 now 90, 80 now 90. 90 on the floor, now 100. I've 90 now 100, 90 now 100. At 90 once, 90 twice, and 100 on the floor, and 1 1/4. I 100 here, and 1 1/4 would you go? I 100 and 1 1/4 in the little Stevens. I used to use one of those at my grandfather's camp when we were target shooting. 1 1/4 and 1 1/2. I 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/2 on the floor, and 175. At 150, 175. At 150 once, twice, in for 175. It's 150 to the floor to 107. 107, 150. Moving right along here, we have a Stevens model 92C shotgun, 16 gauge. Look at the color of that wood. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on this one?
50.
How much? 50 I have and 60 now. I have 60s on the floor and 70. I have 60 on the floor and 70, 60 now 70. At 60 now 70, 60 now 70 more. All in all on it, only 670, now 80. 80 on the floor, now 90 on that nice shotgun. I have 80s on the floor, now 90. I have 80 now 90, 80 now 90. Any more than $80. 80 once, twice, 90, now 100. I have 90 now 100, 90 now 100. Only $10 between you and that weapon. I have $90 now at 100. I have 90 once, 90 twice, and for 100, 90, Carol.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Sears Ranger model 32A 22 long rifle. And on that right on that 22, what's your pleasure on this one? 80 I have it now 90. I have 80 now 90, now 100. I have 90 now 100, 90 now 100. Nice little target gun. I have 90 now 100, 90 now 100. Any more? 100 I have, and 125 now. I have 100 now 1 1/4. I have 100 now 1 1/4, 100 1 1/4. At 100 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2 anymore. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2 anymore. It's so 1 1/4. Next we have a C.E. Wheeler fouling gun, a fouling gun. And what's your pleasure on this one? 200 I have, and 2 1/4. I have 2 1/4 here, and 2 1/2, 275, 300, 300, 3 1/4. 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 375. No, I 3 1/2, 375 with Carol, 400. I 375 and now 400 I have with Carol, 4 1/4. I have 400 now, 4 1/4. He was a Farmington, Maine maker. Oh, I didn't know that. It's 400 now, 4 1/4. Nice Maine gun. I have 400 now, 4 1/4. With Carol at 400, correct? 4 1/4. He's back in. 4 1/4 on the floor and 4 1/2. Where are you going to get another one? I have 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and 475. I have 450 and 475. I have 450 and 75. If you like Maine made weapons, this is a good one. I have 4 1/2 now, 475. 4 1/2 once, twice, any more? Shh. You sure? Okay. I didn't want you to lose it. 450, Carol.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Mossberg Model 500A shotgun, 12 gauge, and on that nice clean Mossberg, like brand new. What's your pleasure on this one? 175 and now 200. I have 175 and 2, 175 and 2. All over the place. I heard you first. 200 now, 2 1/4. 2 1/4, 2 1/2. I 2 1/4, Carol, 2 1/2. Nice clean one. I 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 once, 2 1/4 twice, 2 1/2, and 75 now. At 250 now, 275. 275 and 300. At 275 and 300, it's like brand new. At 275 and 3. At 275, it's almost hunting season, I think. At 275 now, 300. 300 I have in 3 1/4. I 3 and now 3 1/4 on the Mossberg. I 300 now 3 1/4. 300 once, twice in for 3 1/4. It is 300 then.
Online bidder.
All right, we're on to 1113 now. This is a 1863, hold on, 1863 Springfield musket with bayonet. And what's your pleasure on this one?
4 1/4.
4 and a quarter and 4 and a half. At 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half with Emily, opened it at 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. At 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half anymore. At 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. At 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half with Carol, 475 now. I 450 with Carol and 75. I 450 and 75. I 450 once, 450 twice, and 475 anymore. All in, all done at 450. Morning, Liz. 450 and selling. Any more? Sold. 450.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have 1816 Harper's Ferry musket. These are all from the same family with percussion conversion. And on that Harper's Ferry conversion, what's your pleasure on that?
3 and a quarter.
3 and a quarter with the bayonet, 3 and a half. At 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, and 75. 375 and 400. At 375 and 400. At 375 and 400, I have them 4 and a quarter. I have 400 now, 4 and a quarter. I have 400 now, 4 and a quarter, 400, 4 and a quarter, 400, 4 and a quarter anymore. All in at 400, 4 and a quarter. Who is the 400? Carol, 400 with Carol, 4 and a quarter. Any more? 4 and a quarter and 4 and a half. I have 4 and a quarter and 4 and a half and 4 and a quarter on the Harper's Ferry musket. I have 4 and a quarter once on the historical gun. Any more? Once, twice, and it's 4 and a quarter Carol.
Online bidder.
Next we have an Harrison and Richardson Topper Model 88 shotgun 20 gauge. What's your pleasure on this one? 60, I have it now 70. I have 70 now 80. 70, 80 now 90. 90 now 100. 100 now quarter. No, I have 100 now quarter. 100 now quarter. At $100, 100 quarter. $100, 100 quarter anymore. All in all, then $100 on the shotgun. $100, 100 quarter anymore. Once, twice, 1 and a quarter in time. And now 150. I 1 and a quarter now 1 and a half. At 1 and a quarter, 1 half. At 1 and a quarter, 1 and a half. At 1 and a quarter, 1 half anymore. All in all, that 1 and a quarter, 1 and a half. So 1 and a quarter.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Fabrique Nationale Browning Model 1900 pistol, 32 caliber. And what's your pleasure on that? 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half. I have 2 and a half, 75, 300, 300, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 375, 400. No, I 375 and Carol now 4. At 375 and 4, 375 and 400. At 375 and 4 anymore. Last call to 375 and 400. All in all that 375. Once, twice, anywhere for 400. Carol 375.
Online bidder.
You're getting all the good ones. Next we have a Winchester Model 100 rifle with scope, a 308 Winchester, a 308 Winchester. What's your pleasure? A nice clean. Look at that nice scope on that. There we have what? 4 and a quarter and 4 and a half. I have 4 and a quarter and 4 and a half and 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. That nice clean weapon. At 4 and a quarter, nice sporting gun for hunting season. At 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter once, twice, and for 450 on that nice clean Winchester Model 100. Any more? 4 and a quarter.
Online bidder.
Next we have a John Wallace Pennsylvania percussion rifle, 58 caliber. And what's your pleasure on this big gun right here? Boy, that's a big heavy gun. And what's your pleasure on this one? 250 I have it now, 275. I have 250, 275 on the floor and 300. I 275 is on the floor and 300. I 275 and 3, 275 and 3. I 300 I have it now, 3 and a quarter. I 3 and a quarter is on the floor and 3 and a half. 3 and a quarter on the floor and 3 and a half. A 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half on that rare gun. I 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. Said made by John Wallace Gunsmith, Freeport, Armstrong County, Pennsylvania. 3 and a half, Carol? And 375. I 350 and 75 now. I 350 and 75 and 350 and 75 anymore. All in all done at 350, 375. Once, twice. Gone. 350 online bidder. Boy, they're getting all the stuff. Next we have a Model 1852 U.S. Navy officer's sword with scabbard right here. And look at this one, with all engraved all the way down. Gilded brass, has gilded brass fob here, and pleasure on that. 175 and now 200, and 200 now, 175 and now 2 on that rare sword at 175 and 200, 175 and 2. At 200 here and 2 and a quarter. I have 200 and 2 and a quarter. 200's on the floor and 2 and a quarter. 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half. 2 and a half on the floor and 275. I 250's on the floor and 275. At 250 and selling. At 250 once, 250 twice, one for 275. It's 250 to number 90. 250, 90 on the floor. Next we have modern USMC officer's dress sword. On the dress sword with a nickel-plated and gilded wrapped handle. What's your pleasure on that? What's your pleasure on that? Then we have what, $100. It's like brand spanking new. It's from a home in Northeast Harbor, Maine. And even for $100. $50. $50, that nice sword. Nobody wants that? United States Marine dress sword. Anyone for $50? Yep, I have $50, now 60, at 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Any more? $50, number 90? $50, number 90. 1121. 1121 is a 20th century Indian copy of U.S. Army 1850 foot officer's sword with scabbard. What's your pleasure on this one? Here we have what? $100 wear. $50 wear. They're all here to be sold. Anywhere for $50, that sword. Anywhere for $50. Again, from that place in Northeast Harbor. Anywhere for $50 on that sword. Nobody wants it? We want to sell it. Nobody wants that? 25? Type 25, and now 35. 25 once, twice, and for 35? $25, number 28. 28 buys, $25. Next we have a 1852 U.S. Navy officer's sword with scabbard and belt on this right here. This is a good one right here. What's your pleasure on this one? 250 I have, and 275. Yes, and 300, and 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, at 3 1/4, 3 1/2. We curl at 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. At 3 1/2 and 375. At 350 now 375. 375 and now 400. At 375 and now 4. At 375 and 375 and 4. Any more? At 375 once, twice, and for 400. All in, all done. 375 with Carol and 400 if you want it. Any more? 375, Carol.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Napoleonic French court sword with partial scabbard. A very early piece right here. What's your pleasure on this one here? Look at this. It has mother of pearl carved, mother of pearl handle, and gilded bronze fittings. Nice early sword. What's your pleasure on this one? It's almost like a rapier. Look at that. It's in this one. 200 wear. And it's to 200 on that rare Napoleonic era sword. Anyone for 200? Pass away. Next item. We have a 19th century U.S. Navy embossed leather cartridge box. What's your pleasure on this one? 50, having 60, 60 and 60 and 70, 70, 80, now 90, 90, now 100. No, I've 90 with Carol, now 100. At 90 once, 90 twice, and for $100 on that nice leather pouch. And 90 once, twice, and for 100. Carol, $90.
Online bidder.
Next we have a California Missions dispatch bag. And that dispatch bag, what's your pleasure on that? 50, having 60 now, 60 and 70, 70, 80, 80, now 90, 90, now 100. No, I've $90. The book is out. I've $90 with Carol, now 100. And 90 once, 90 twice, and for 100 in that rare piece right there. California Mission dispatch bag at only $90. And it's $90.
Online bidder.
Next we have James Edward Kelly, Cavalryman Dismounted at Ease, Graphite on Paper by James Edward Kelly, a well-known artist from the Civil War era. What's your pleasure on that? 250 I have, and now 275 on that rare drawing. I have only 250 and 275. At 250 and 275, at 250 and 75, at 250 and 75. Any more? At only 250 and 275. That's a good one right there. Anyone for 275? It's 250 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have this is from the Sally Jesse Raphael home over in upstate New York. It's a 6-piece armor on stand with sword, and on that suit of armor right there, of a medieval European knight's armor. What's your pleasure on that? What's your pleasure on that nice suit of armor? 500 wear. 500 wear instead of at 500 and go. And it's at 500. A nice suit of armor. It's full size. 300 wear on the suit of armor. And for 300, a nice suit of armor. All complete. And for 300. Nobody wants it? Once, twice, and pass it away then. We want to sell it, but we'll pass it away. Next we have a period pastel portrait. Why do they give it to the smallest person? The smallest runner is carrying the biggest piece. How'd that happen? You got in the wrong end of the line, dear. Period pastel portrait of an unidentified general officer from the Napoleonic Wars, 29th foot under Wellington. We have his sword with it on that period piece right there. What's your pleasure? May we have at least $1,500 to set it off. $1,500 where instead of it $1,500. 1,000, no less. And even for 1,000, this is a rare historic piece. Pass away. Next object. Next object is going to be what? A case pair of Belgian gunsmith-made muff pistols with horn handles in the box with the shot and the shot piece. What's your pleasure in that? 1,000 I have, now 1,100. I have $1,000, now 1,100. The beautiful guns in the case. 1,100 where? I have 1,000, now 1,100, 1,000, 1,100, at only $1,000 now. It's beautiful handmade guns. They're beautiful condition too. The handles are all carved horn, and it's all inlaid with intricate silver wire work. I have 1,100, now 12, all carved in underneath the thumb grip and down the bottom. I have only 1,100, 1,200. I have 1,112. Boy, those must be what, 50 caliber? Huge caliber. I have 1,100, now 1,200. I have 11 and 12, 11 and 12. Going to sell it. Beautiful pair of little guns right there. 1,100 once, twice, and for 1,200. It's 1,100 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Korean War ERA, U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force, H4 helmet, liner, hoses, miscellaneous headset. And on that whole group right there, what's your pleasure? 200 I have, and now 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4, 200, 2 1/4, and 2 1/2, and 275. I have 250, 275, and 300, 300, 3 1/4. These came out of an estate in Camden, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. 3 1/4 with Carol, and 3 1/2. I have 3 1/4, 3 1/2 anymore. At 3 1/4 once, twice, went for 3 1/2. 3 1/2 and 75. I have 350 and 75. I have 350 once, twice, and went for 375. All in, all done at 350 once, twice, gone 350.
Online bidder.
Next we have, this is an interesting piece right here. It's a World War II AFF pilots, what they call a short snorter. Mediterranean and Bahamas, earliest date is 12/7/1941. These were all signed by the military people that were with this particular guy. They're all signed officers and enlisted men, and there's a silver certificate, and they go all these different countries. Very rare to find these in this condition. And what's your pleasure on that? 250 I have, and now 275. I have 250 and 275 on that rare short snorter. At 250 and 275. At 250 once, 250 twice, and 275. They're very rare to find. Any more? Sold, 250 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have a brass-mounted J. Purdy gun cases on stands. Look at these. If you've got some good shotguns, these came in on free appraisal day. Set that one right up here. This is all dovetailed. All dovetailed. Oh, that's not supposed to be in there. That's a stand for a microscope. Good thing we saw that. No wonder that thing was heavy. So we have this one here, brass-mounted, and this is the one that says, is this the one, the Purdy case? Well, if you've got a Purdy shotgun, here's the one with the original label and a custom-made stand. What's your pleasure on that? 3 1/4 and 3 1/2 for both. A 3 1/4, 3 1/2, a 3 1/4, 3 1/2, a 3 1/4, 3 1/2 for 2 of those shotgun cases. This is all handmade, dovetailed. A 3 1/4, 3 1/2, a 3 1/4 once, 3 1/4 twice, and for 3 1/2. All in, all done. 3 1/4 with Carol. Any more? It's 3 1/4 then. Carol got it.
Online bidder.
Those came in on free appraisal day. It's not supposed to be. That's for a telescope. Yes, and that's not supposed to be in there. Sorry. Next we have a Second Spanish Republic Cabaneros cap. And what's your pleasure on that? Fun hat. 90. Look at the original feathers are with it. 90, now 100. 90, now 100. 90, now 100. 100 I have now quarter. I have 100 now quarter. 100 now quarter. Great hat. At 100 now 1 1/4 and 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2.
1.5.
It says maker is Jesus Martinez Calle Mayor. 175 and 200. At 175 and now 2. At 175, a great hat. At 175 and 2, 175 and 2 anymore. At 175 once, twice, and for 200. All in all at 175. We are. Emily, who? You got 2? 200 Carol, 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4. I have 200 quickly, I'm going to sell it. 200 once, 2 1/4, and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2. It's a cool hat. 2 1/4, 2 1/2. 2 1/4 once, 2 1/4 twice, and for 2 1/2. Emily, you got it, 2 1/4. Live Auctioneers gets the hat. Next we have early powder flash, shot flash, and World War II training grenade. Oh, wow, another one. How do we do that? And on this one right here, what's your pleasure in this whole group?
300.
300 I have, and now 3 1/4. I have 300, now 3 1/4, 300, 3 1/4. I have 300, now 3 1/4, 300, 3 1/4. Any more? All in, all done. 300 with Carol, all the way. 300 once, twice, and for 3 1/4.
3 1/4.
3 1/4 in time, and 3 1/2. I 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. At 3 1/4, 3 1/2. 3 1/2. This is an early powder flask. This is, or shot flask. This is made out of a burl, piece of burl, one big piece of burl. 3 1/2 and 375. I 3 1/2 and 375. Any more? 350 once, twice, and for 375. All in, all done at 350, 370, 375, and 400. I 375 and 4. At 375 and 4. Once, twice, any more? 375. Live auctioneers buys. Next we go to a German Gewehr 98 8mm Mauser. And on the Mauser, what's your pleasure on that?
375.
How much, hon? 375 and 400. At 375 and 400 if you'd like it. At 375 and 4, 375 and 4. Any more? All in, all done, 375 and 400 with Emily all the way. Any more? It's 375. Emily. Next we have a World War I German field helmet. Look at that cool helmet right there. I think that came in on free appraisal day maybe, long time ago. Anyway, what's your pleasure on this?
300.
300 I have, and 3 1/4. I 300 now, 3 1/4, 300, 3 1/4. I 300, 3 1/4 with Carol, 300, 3 1/4. Any more? All in, all done, $300. Once, twice, any more than 3 100. It's 300 Carol.
Online bidder.
And lot 1138 coming right up. 3, World War II, Nazi service badges, medals, service ribbon, plus 5 coins, marks, spoons, so on and so forth. What's the pleasure on that?
2 1/4.
2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2, at 2 1/4, 2 1/2, at 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Any more? At 2 1/4 once, 2 1/4 twice, went for 250. These are all over the period. Any more? 2 1/4.
Online bidder.
Next we have a German Boy Scout camping knife by Blinka. And on that right there, what's the Boy Scout camping knife? What's your pleasure on that?
60.
60 I have, and 70 now. I have 60 and 70. It's like new. I have 60 and 70 and 60 and 70. Any more? All in, all done, only $60. Any more?
70.
70 and now 80. I have 80 now 90. 80 now 90. 80 now 90. Any more? 90 now 100. 90 now 100 now quarter. I have 100 now quarter. $100 now 1 1/4. $100 once, twice in for 1 1/4. All in, all done. $100, 1 1/4. Who has the 100? Emily? Carol. $100 with Carol. Anyone for 100 1/4? Sold Carol $100.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have an Imperial German M73 artillery saber. On the German artillery saber, what's your pleasure in this?
175.
175 and 200. At 175 and 2, that rare sword. At 175 and 200. At 200 I have, and 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4. It's all unreserved. I have 200, 2 1/4. Any more? Selling once, selling twice at only $200. Anyone for 2 1/4? Carol, 200.
Online bidder.
Okay, next item is, this is a Jennings J22 pistol, 22 LR. On that right there, what's your pleasure on this one?
40.
40 I have, and now 50. I have 40 now, 50. 50 I have on the floor, and 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. 60 now 70. I have 60 now 70, 60 now 70. I have 60 now 70, 60 now 70 more. All in all, it's $60. Once, twice, and for 70. 70, he's back in, now 80. I have 70 on the floor, now 80. I have 70 now 80, 70 now 80. Any more? $70, number 32. 32 buys, went to the floor. Next we have a Savage Model 833 shotgun, 12 gauge from the same family again. What's your pleasure on the shotgun? 175 and 200. At 175 and 2, 175, 200 on the floor, and 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 2 1/2. I have 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Any more? Any more? 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Almost sold it. 2 1/2 and 275. I 275 and 300. I 275 and 300 on the Savage Model 833. I 275 and 3 with Carol at 275 and selling all the way now. Once, twice, any more? 275, Carol.
Online bidder.
Next we have a Winchester Model 1890 22, and on that right there, what's your pleasure? On that nice little 22 right there, vintage pump 22. What's your pleasure? 175, and now 200. At 175 and 2, 175 and 2. At 175 and 2, that nice little early 22. At 175 once, 175, 200 I have on the floor, and 2 and a quarter. 2 and a quarter, and 2 and a half. At 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, at 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half. At 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, any more? Last call at 2 and a quarter with Carol all the way. Any more? Carol, 2 and a quarter.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have a Zulu shotgun. A Zulu shotgun. And on that right there, boy, that's an early gun. And on that Zulu shotgun, what's your pleasure on that?
40.
40 I have, and now 50. 50 and 60. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. It'd be the only one in the neighborhood to have one. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 on the Zulu shotgun, whatever that means. At 50 once, twice, I went for 60. It's $50 then. Live auctioneers. Next we have a Winchester 62 boys rifle 22 long rifle. Another one right here. What's your pleasure on this one? 80 I have, and now 90. I have 80 now 90, 80 now 90 on that nice little boys 22. 80 once, 80 twice, and for $90. 90 on the floor, now 100. I have 90 on the floor, now 100 if you'd like it. A 90 once and 90 twice, even for a $100 bill. Any more? $90 to 32. We're working on 1146 now. 1146. Going nicely right here. Harrington Richardson single barrel shotgun 16 gauge. What's your pleasure on this one? What's your 40 I have, and now 50. I have 40 now 50, 40 now 50 on the floor, and 60 now. I have 50 on the floor, now 60, 60 now 70. I have 60 now 70, 60 now 70. At 60 and 70, 60 and 70 more. All in all then, $60, 70 and now 80. I have 70 now 80 and 70 now 80. At 70 once, 70 twice, and for $80 on the shotgun at 16 gauge at 70 and 80 anymore. $70 it is.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. And a Sears white powder wonder shotgun 12 gauge. What's your pleasure on this guy? 50 I have, and 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. 60's on the floor, now 70. I have 60 on the floor, now 70 and 70 now 80. I have 70 now 80 and 70 now 80. Reasonable. I have 70 now 80 anymore. All in all, that's 70 once, 70 twice, and for $80. Carol, $70.
Online bidder.
Next we have a replica naval flintlock boarding pistol. And on this one right here, from a home down by Cundy's Harbor, what's your pleasure on this one?
1 1/4.
1 1/4 and 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 1 1/2 and 175. At 150 and 175. At 150, 175. Any more? At 150 once, twice in for 175. Any more? It's 150 then. Live auctioneers. And now we have a forged iron bullet mold. What's your forged iron bullet mold? What's your pleasure on that? 20 I have, and 30 now. I have 20 and 30 and 20 and 30. Anyone for 30? 20 once, twice, in for $30 on the early bullet mold. Any more? 20 it is. Carol.
Online bidder.
Somebody needs a bullet mold. Next we have reproduction 50 round Thompson's drum magazine and wooden foregrip for a Thompson machine gun. What's your pleasure on this? Brand new. How much? 50 I have, and 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. At 50 once, 50 twice, and for 60. Any more? All in, all done at $50 only. Any more? $50, Carol.
Online bidder.
Next we have a rare L.C. Smith Crown Grade SS 12 gauge shotgun. A beautiful gun right there. Beautiful condition from a local family. It has a burl stock. It's like brand spanking new, and it has a special case for it. And what's your pleasure on that?
2,500.
2,500 I have, and 2750 and 3,000 and 32 and a half. 32 and a half and now 35. 32 and a half, now 35. At 32 and a half and 35 and 32 and a half, 35. At 3250 and 3,500. Any more? All in all, then at 3250 and 3,500. Once, twice at 3250 and 3,500. Pass. That's the only item I had a reserve all day. The rest is all unreserved. Next we go to a flintlock pistol. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on this prop pistol right there? 40 I have, and now 50. 50 and 60. I have 60 on the floor and 70. I have 60 on the floor and 70, 60 and 70. At 60 and 70, 60 and 70 and more. All in all on $60. 70 if you'd like it. Once, twice, and $60 to number, what number are you using? 28. $60 to 28. Next we have a decorated camel gun musket on the musket right here that Dave has. This is a cool one right here. It's got all kinds of engraving, but look at the ironwork in here. Almost like a face on there. What's your pleasure on that early camel gun or musket? 2 1/4 and 2 1/2, at 2 1/4 and 2 1/2, at 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Early, at 2 1/4, 2 1/2, at 2 1/4, 2 1/2 anymore, at 2 1/4 once, twice, and for $250, all in all, at 2 1/4 with Carol anymore. Sold, 2 1/4 Carol.
Online bidder.
Moving on to 1154. 1154 is a Remington Model 788 rifle with scope, a 308. It's a 308. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on this one?
2 1/4.
2 1/4 and 2 1/2. 2 1/2 and 275, 275 and 300, 300 and 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. I 3 1/4 with Emily on Live Auctioneers and 3 1/2. At 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/4, 3 1/2 anymore. At 3 1/4 once, twice, and for 3 1/2, it's 3 1/4.
Live auctioneers.
This is all the same family again. Next we have a Rockford Arms single shot shotgun, 12 gauge. What's your pleasure on this one? 30, now 40. I 40, now 50. I 40's on the floor and 50 now. I 40 and 50 and 40 and 50. Any more than $40 on the floor at $40 and 50 if you'd like it. A nice decorative hanger to put on the mantle. I 40, now 50, 40, now 50. Any more?
50.
50 and now 60. I 50, now 60, 50, now 60. With Emily now on Live Auctioneers at $50. Once, twice, any more? Emily, $50.
Live auctioneers.
Live Auctioneers. Next we have a Savage Model 220 shotgun, 16 gauge. What's your pleasure on this one? 20, and now 30 on the floor, now 40. I 30, now 40, 30, now 40. You couldn't buy the pots for that. I 30, now 40, 30, now 40. On the floor at $30 and 40 if you like it. At 30 once, 30 twice. You went for 40, all in, all done. $30, $30, 40, and now 40. I have it now 50, 50, now 60. I 50 on the floor, still no money. I 50's on the floor. Any more? You got it. $50, number 32. $50 to 32 on the floor. $50, 32. Next we have NEF Podner Model SB1 shotgun, 410 gauge, a 410 gauge. What's your pleasure on this one? 70, now 80. I've 70, now 80. A great sporting gun. I've 70, now 80, 70, now 80 anymore. Selling once, 80 on the floor, now 90. I've 80, now 90. These are all unreserved. I've 80, now 90 over here, now 100. I've 90 on the floor, now 100. And 90s with this gentleman seated, now 100. 90 once, 90 twice, and for a $100 bill. Any more? $90 to 97. Went to the floor. $90 to 97 on the floor. Next we have a Savage Stevens Model 94 shotgun, 12 gauge. Same family again. What's your pleasure on this one? 20 I have, and 30 I have on the floor, and 40. I 30, that's ridiculous, but I'm going to sell them. I 30, now 40, 40, now 50. 50's on the floor, and 60 now. I 50 and 60, and now 70. I have $60 and 70. No money for these. I have 60 and 70, 60 and 70 more. 70's on the floor, now 80. I have 70, now 80, 70, now 80. Any more? 70 once, twice. It's on the floor. It's $70 and selling. Any more? $70 to the floor, number 32. $70 to 32. Next we have a Scandinavian dagger with a horn handle and sheath from Norway, we believe. And on that right there, what's your pleasure?
70.
70, I have 80, 90, 90 over here, now 100, 100, and a quarter, and a half, 175. I have 150, now 175, 175, 200, 200, 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4, 200, it's with you now, 200, 2 1/4. Absentee bid at 200, 2 1/4, and that nice night. I 200 once, twice, and for 2 1/4. Any more? $200.
362.
262 buys.
362.
Oh, 362 buys. $200. Next we have this Persian silver-mounted Khanjar dagger with carved bone handle, 19th century. And what's your pleasure on that?
350.
350, 400. How much?
4.
400, 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 4 1/2, 475, 475, 500, 500, 500. I have 500, 550, 550, 600, 600. I have 600, I have 600, 650, 700, 700, need 700, 650, need 700, 750, 800, 800. I have 750, now 800, 800, now 850, 850. I have 800 on the phone, now 850. At 800 once, twice, and for 850. Pass. That did not meet the reserve. That's the other item that had a reserve. Sorry. There were 2 items out of all these today. Next we have a carved bone samurai style sword. And what's your pleasure on this one? All carved up. Everything else, what's your pleasure on that?
50.
50 I have, and 60 from a house in North Maine. It's all carved bone. I have $50 only and 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Any more? 60 and 70. I have 60 and 70 and 60 and 70. I have 60 and 70. Any more? 70. 70 over here, now 80. I have 80 over there, now 90. 90 over there, now 100. I have 90 on the floor, now 100. I have 90, now 100. 100 I have, now quarter. No. I have 100 with Sylvia on the phone at $100 once, twice in for and 100 and a quarter. $100 once, twice in for 1 and a quarter on that carved bone samurai sword. 1 and a quarter in time, and 1.5. Back to you, Sylvia. Yes, 150 is Sylvia, and now 175, and now 175. 150 is on the phone selling. Once, twice, any more? 150, phone, Sylvia.
393.
393 buys, 150. Next we have antique Spanish dagger with scabbard. Nice one right here. Look at this delicate little blade. It looks like it has bone or ivory inlays, and it's all colored inlays in the handle. What's your pleasure on that with the scabbard? 50, have 60 now. I have 50 and 60, early knife, 60 here and 70. I have 60 on the floor, now 70. I have 60 and now 70, of course, now 80 on the floor, now 90. I have 80, now 90. I have 80, now 90, 90's on the phone. Sylvia, 100 I have now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, 100 now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, and then nice 100 quarter and 1.5. I have 1 1/4, 1.5, then nice quality dagger. I have 1 1/4, 1.5 anymore, and 1 1/4 is on the phone with Sylvia. Once, twice, any more? You got it, 1 1/4, phone.
393.
393 buys with Sylvia. Next we have a long Burmese ceremonial sword with a silver sheath. Look at this sword. It's all engraved with figures and scroll work. It's all silver mounted. Isn't that an amazing thing? Look at this. God. It just needs to be polished. What's your pleasure in this? 100 I have, 1 1/4 I have, and 1.5. 1.5, 75 and 200, and 75 and 200, 175 and now 2, and 175 and 2, 200 on the phone. I need 200 there. I have 175, need 2. I have 175 ahead of you, need 2. And 175 and 2 anymore? 200 I have, and 2 1/4, and 2.5. I have 2 1/4 on the floor, and 2.5. At 2 1/4, 2.5, at 2 1/4, 2.5. At 2 1/4, 2.5 anymore? All in all, then at 2 1/4, 2.5.
Oh, I have 200.
No, I have 2 1/4 against you. Need 250. We need 250. 250 and 275 and 300 and 300 now, Sylvia. We need 300. I have 275 now 3. Need 300. 300 I have, and now 3 1/4. I have 300 now 3 1/4, and selling a beautiful Burmese ceremonial sword with silver sheath and handle. I have only $300 once, $300 twice, $300, Sylvia.
393.
300 to 393. Next we have a Thai Krabi Karabong ceremonial knife and silver sheath. What's your pleasure in this one?
50.
How much?
50.
60. This is all silver with a bone handle. I have 50 and 60. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. The silver's worth more than that. 70, of course, now 80. I have 70 now 80. 70 now 80. No money for this at all. I have 70 now 80. 70 now 80. It's all silver mounted. I have $70 once, twice. Anyone for $80? 80 in time, and now 90. What, 90? 90, now 100. That's all silver mounted. Just needs to be polished.
No, 90 was me.
90's you. Anyone for 100? Quickly. $90 phone.
Congratulations. 393.
Oh, look at this. This is a Japanese wakizashi sword. And on this right here, 18th century or earlier. And what's your pleasure on this rare blade?
350.
350 I have it now, 375. I have 350 now, 375. I have 350 on that rare blade and 375. I have 350s online and 375. 375 is on the phone and 400 and 4 1/4. I have 400 on live auctioneers, now 4 1/4. I have 400 on live auctioneers and 4 1/4 in that rare blade. I have 400 now, 4 1/4. I have only 4 1/4 with Jamie on the phone, now 4.5. I have 4 1/4 on the phone, now 4.5. I have 4 1/4 on the phone and 4.5. At 4 1/4 and selling, at only 4 1/4 in that rare blade. At 4 1/4, 4.5. At 4 1/4 once, 4 1/4 twice. They went for 450 on that rare blade. It's on the phone anymore. Jamie, 4 1/4.
321.
321. 321s, 4 1/4. Next we have a Philadelphia police button. And what's your pleasure in this? On the police button right here, this figural buttons. City seal from the made of Horseman, Philadelphia, possibly from the Centennial Expo. What's your pleasure in this? Any bid? Any bid? Nothing. Nobody wants it? Once, twice? Nothing? Period. Go away. Next one, go. Next we have a post-World War II occupied Japan souvenir World War medal with France bar. And what's your pleasure this? 20, you have it now 30. 30, you have it now 40. 40, now 50. I have 40, now 50, now 60. I have 50, now 60, and 50, now 60. 60, now 70. I have 60, now 70. This is interesting. I have 60, now 70. It's a U.S. occupational zone, 1948. 70, now 80, now 80. 70, now 80. 80, now 90. I have 80, now 90. 80, now 90. Any more? 80 once, 80 twice, and for $90. All in, all done at $80. And for 90. Once, twice, and it's $80 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have a vintage World War II vintage Swiss Army great coat in winter wool. Great coat with insignia and button and tack. And what's your pleasure on this one? 50, having 60 now. I have 50 and 60, a nice heavy wool coat. I have 50 and 60. Look at the insignias on the arm. I have 50 and, what do we have, Carol? 50 and 60. I have only $50 and 60 if you like it. I have 50 and 60. Look at this nice coat at only $50 and $60. Winter's coming. Winter's coming. I have 50. It'll fit you nicely. No, it's a little big for you. That would fit Zeb, though. I have 50 and 60. I have 50 and 60. Any more? Only $50. Nice coat for no money. Any more? Carol, $50.
Online bidder.
Next we have, look at all this. A collection of World War II to Korean War U.S. Army decorations and all that right there. What's your pleasure? 70, now 80, now 90. 80, now 90, 80, now 90 for the whole lot. All those medals and badges and awards and everything else. I have a 90, now 100. I have 90, 100, now quarter. I have 100, now quarter, 100, now quarter. I have 100, now quarter. Any more? All in, all done at $100, 100 a quarter. Once, twice, $100, 100 a quarter. Any more? All in, all done at $100 only. Any more? Sold $100 then.
Live auctioneers.
Live auctioneers. 1170. 1170 is a pair of custom-made reenactors Revolutionary War breeches, American and English. What's your pleasure on those? 60, I have now 70. I have 60, now 70, 60, now 70. At 60, now 70, now 80. I have 70, now 80, 70, now 80. At 70 once, twice, in for $80. At 70 of the pair of them at only $70. And 80 if you want the breeches. I have 70 once, twice, in for 80. It's $70. Carol.
Online bidder.
Next, it's a circa 1890 Austro-Hungarian livery uniform. Look at this lovely red wool uniform. The whole thing complete with is the pants too, with the coat and the pants. And on that right there, what's your pleasure? 1 1/4. 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 1 1/4, 1 1/2. What a nice costume that is. A 1 1/4, 1 1/2, a 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and only 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Is that got an inlaid collar? The collar is all done in gilded sequins in high quality red fabric. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4 once, 1 1/4 twice. Gonna sell it at only $125. Any more? Gone. $125.
Online bidder.
Great costume. Next we have a USMC K-bar knife and homemade scabbard. What's your pleasure on this? 50, having 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Any more? 60 and 70. 70 now 80. I have 70 now 80. I have 70 now 80. Any more? 70 once, 70 twice, and for $80. All 80 now 90. I have 80, 90 now 100. 90 now 100. 90 now 100. Quickly, we gotta move on. I have 90 now 100. I have $90 on the K-bar knife. Anyone for 100? Once, twice, it's $90 then.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have an Arasaka Type 99 rifle, missing the bolt. What's your pleasure on this gun right here?
90.
90, now 100. I have 90, now 100, 90, now 100. 100 I have now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/2 and 175, 75 and 200, 200 and 2 1/4. All with Emily now. 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half. I 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, and 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, and 275. I 2 and a half, 275. At 250 once, twice, and for 275. 275 with Emily all the way. Can you imagine if it had the bolt? I 275 and now 3. I 275 with Emily and 300. I 275 and 3 anymore. 300 I have and 3 and a quarter. I 300 and 3 and a quarter on this relic. 3 and a quarter and 3 and a half. I 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, and 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. 3 and a quarter once, 3 and a quarter twice, in for 3 and a half. Emily, 3 and a quarter.
5 auctioneers.
5 auctioneers, 3 and a quarter. Here we go. On 3 machetes, on the 3 machetes right here. What's your pleasure on all these? Hey, Ben.
Hey.
Come on in. I 3 and a quarter on all the on all the machetes. What's your pleasure on those? Nobody's going out in the bush hunting at all? Anyone? $100 on all of them. Anyone for 100? 50. 50 for those 3 machetes. No, 50. I have them 60 now. They're unreserved. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 and all the machetes. I have 50 once, twice. This one has a tool leather scabbard. I have 50 once, 50 twice. One for $60. Seems reasonable for those. Boy, if you saw those in a store, they'd be a lot more than that. Anyone for 60, sold. $50 then.
5 auctioneers.
They want it all sold. This estate. Next, we have a Philippine Borang bolo knife. What's your pleasure in this? On the bolo knife. This is a serious blade right here. Wooden handle. Needs to put some navel jelly on the blade, and it'll come right back. What's your pleasure on that one? Any bid on that? $50. Where? $20. Where? They want it sold. Anything for 20? Pass away. Next object. Moving on. Next we have an Indian Ramdao sacrificial sword. Uh-oh. On the sacrificial sword, what's your pleasure in this? 300 I have, and now 3 and a quarter. I 300, now 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter, and 3 and a half, 3 and a half, and 375. 375? 375 is on the phone. 400 with Carol, now 4 and a quarter. I have 400, now 4 and a quarter. I have 400, now 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter with Sylvia, 4 and a half. I have 4 and a quarters on the phone, and now 4 and a half. I have 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, and 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. I have 4 and a quarter once, 4 and a quarter twice. It's on the phone with Sylvia, make no mistake. At only 4 and a quarter and selling. Once, twice. Anyone for 4 and a half? Sylvia, 4 and a quarter.
393.
393. Next we have Army issue Collins machete, number 1005. On the Collins machete, look at that one. Ooh. And on that one right there, what's your pleasure on this one? 100 I have, and now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, 100 now quarter. On that nice machete right there, the Army issue Collins machete. I have only $100, 100 a quarter. 100 once, twice, and for 100 a quarter. It's $100 then.
Online bidder.
178. 178. Moving right along. We have 1930s German hunting knives by Henley. These are really interesting. You got a phone on this. He passed. So we're doing this estate in Canada, and we go in the garage, and there's all these cases of these knives, and he must have been a knife salesman because they're all brand new in scabbards with staghorn handles. Beautiful. I mean, they're brand new condition. Some even have even have this with it, the tags. And what's your pleasure on those 10 nice German hunting knives by Henley with the staghorn handles? 250 you have, and now 275 and 300, at 275 and 300, at 275 and 300. Can you imagine? That's $27 a piece. 300 I have, and 3 and a quarter. I have 300 and 3 and a quarter. $30 a piece for those great brand new hunting knives. German hunting knives with stag handles from the turn of the 1930s probably. I have 300, now 3 and a quarter. 300 once, 300 twice, going to sell them. Nice buy. 300 the number 112. 300 to 112. From the same family again. Brand new in the boxes this time. Brand new in the boxes. A hatchet and a hunting knife. This one has an embossed Native American's face on the scabbard. And so does this one. They still have the original tags with them. And on those right there, what's your pleasure on those?
200.
3 of them. There's 3 of them. What is it?
200.
200 I have, and now 2 and a quarter. I have 200, 2 and a quarter. Great retail stuff, just like they're brand new from 1930s in the box. I have 200, now 2 and a quarter. No money. I have 200, 2 and a quarter, 200, 2 and a quarter anymore. At only $200, going to sell. Anymore. Nice buy. 2 and a quarter and 2 and a half. I have 2 and a quarter, Carol and time, and now 2 and a half and 275. I have 250, 275. Brand new in the boxes. I have 250 and 275 from 1930 in still beautiful condition. I have 250, what do we have? 250 and 275. I have 250 with Emily, and now 275. On live auction is 250, 275 anymore? It's 250 Emily. Those are all from that house in Camden. And these two, we have 7 German throwing knives in sheaths by Henley again. Look at these. All original, just like in the box. They were with the Native American embossed on the sheath, on the scabbard, and they're stacked leather handles. Stacked leather handles. And on that, what's your pleasure? 350. I have another 375. I 350 and 375. On night 7 of them at a 350 and 375. Look at the condition of these things. At 350 and 375. At 350 once, twice, and for 375 anymore. All in, all done. At 350 once, twice, and seems good for those. 350 it is.
Online bidder.
These are from the same family again. These beauties right here. Look at these. 6 1930 German straight blade knives and sheaths by Henley. And on those right there, what's your pleasure on these? May we have what? 250, I have 270, 275, 300, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 375, and 400. I 375 with Jen now 4. I 375 with Jen now 400 on all those great knives. There's 6 of them. I 375 and now 4. They're 10 inches long. I 375 and now 400. Brand new condition with staghorn handles and leather sheaths. At 375 once, twice, and even for 400. Jen, 375.
362.
362, 375. Next we have, from the same family again, 1930s Henley and other blades, 2 hatchets, 2 knives, and 4 pair of scissors, all made by that same company. It's amazing. And all like brand new condition, never used. And what's your pleasure on this lot? 150, I have it now 175. I have 150, now 175. I have 150, 175, 150, 175, and 200, and 200. I have 175 and 2. Brand new merchandise at 175 and 2. 200 I have with silver 2 1/4. I have 2 1/4 with Carol and 2 1/2. I have 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 once, 2 1/4 twice, and for 250. All in, all done. Who has the 2 1/4? Carol, 2 1/4.
Online bidder.
Nice group of merchandise right there. 16 vintage pocket knives. 16 vintage pocket knives. What's your pleasure on all these? 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2 anymore. 16 vintage pocket knives. 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Some of them have fancy handles. This one says Kent on it with a what do you call that stuff? Bakelite handle. There's a Remington knife right there. Here's one, a silver-plated handle. There's a Victorian knife. That's a Boy Scout knife? Yeah, Boy Scout. There's a Boy Scout knife. This one has looks like a 14-karat gold sheath on it. Here's one with multiple tools. This is a good lot. This is a good lot of knives right here. There's another one right here. Anyway, what'd you put Swiss Army knife in there? Some bone handle ones, ivory handle ones. These are all vintage knives. Here's another one, looks like it has a gold sheath on it. And what's your pleasure, Carol? 2 1/4 and 2 1/2 now. At 2 1/4 only and 2 1/2 on all those nice knives. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2 anymore. At 2 1/4 once, twice, and for 250. Carol, 2 1/4 then.
Online bidder.
That's a nice buy on that. Some good knives in there. Next we have, we don't find these every day, a Brazilian pygmy poison blowpipe weapon. This is from a house over near Cundy's Harbor. And it's a long blowpipe from hollow reed wrapped in cane with tar adhesive, which is dried out and just probably Amazon basin. It said they used to career tipped blow darts. And on that, it was wrapped in an old newspaper, the Tribune, from Nassau and Bahama Islands, dated May 12th, 1973. What's your pleasure on that? Blowgun.
50.
50? I have 50 and now 60. At 50 and 60, we're going to find another one. I have 50 and 60 and 60 and now 70. On this vintage 70, now 8. On this vintage piece, 70, now 80. I have 70, now 80, and 70, now 80. At only $70 and 80 if you want it. It's 80, now 90. I have 80, 90, now 100. I have 90, now 100. And 90, now 100 on this rare blowgun. I have $90, now 100. 90 once, 90 twice. Can you imagine using that? $90, not 100 anymore. 90 once, 90 twice, and for $100 anymore, it's $90 then.
Live auctioneers.
Live auctioneers buys. Okay, next we go to, we're out of weapons and on to, it looks like fishing rods now. We have circa 1890, 1910 Scotts and Richards faultless Boston split bamboo fly rods. 9 foot, 10 foot, and so forth. What's your pleasure on all these? On all the fly rods, what's your pleasure on those? Lot 1185 we're on. Interested in those? Interested in the little fly rods? Interested in the fly rods? Couple $100 wear. $200 wear, $100 wear. No interest in the fly rods? I can't believe it. Pass on those. Next item. We have a fishing reel by H. Moore of Liverpool, 4 1/4 inch salmon dry fly reel. What's your pleasure on that? 50 and now 60. Those mics aren't working. 50 and now 60. At 50 now 60. I have 50 now 60 and 50 now 60 on that rare 60 now 70. I have 60 now 70. That rare fishing reel with a pouch. I've only $60 now 70. I have 60 and 70, 60 and 70. Any more? All in all, then $60 on that rare reel. Any more? $60 it is.
Online bidders.
Online bidder. Got it. With Sylvia. Next we have a lead codfish jig with molded fins and 4-prong hooks. What's your pleasure on this guy?
125.
125 and now 150. At 125, now 150, at 125 and 150. At 125, 150 anymore? All in all, down at 1 1/4, 1 1/2 on the nice lure right there. A codfish jig at 125. Any more? It's 125 then.
Online bidders.
Online bidder. Next we go to articulated trout form fish decoy with metal fins and glass eyes. Look at that one. That's a nice one. There's a great group of fish decoys out of the same family. What's your pleasure on this one?
100.
100 I have, and now 1 1/4. I have 100 now 1 1/4, 100 1 1/4. I have 100 now 1 1/4, 1 1/4 is on the phone, 1 1/2. On the phone at 1 1/4 only, 1 1/2 should be everywhere. I have 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4 once, twice, and for 150. All in all, then at 1 1/4, 1 1/2.
150.
150 on the online, and now 175. At 150 and 175. Any more? 150 it is.
Online bidders.
Online bidder. Next we have 2 trout farm fish decoys with detailed paint and metal fins. What's your pleasure on these?
150.
150 have, now 175. I have 150 now 175 on the 2. These are all from the same family. I have 150 now 175. They're nice old ones from up north, northern Maine. I have 150 now 175. At 150, 175 anymore? All in all then, a 150, 175, all from the same collection. Any more? Sold 150.
Online bidders.
Next we have a relief porcelain fish plaque. This is really neat. This is all done in porcelain. All done in porcelain. And it hangs up on the wall like this. Nice 1890s piece probably. It hangs on the wall like that. What's your pleasure on this?
60.
50 I have, 60, 70, 100 I have, and now quarter. 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 170, 175, and 200. At 175 and now 2. At 175 and now 2, 175 and 2. With Jen at 200 I have and 2 1/4. But yours guys out. I have 200 on the phone with Jared and 200, 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4 anymore. At 200 once, 200 twice. A great plaque at 200, 2 1/4, and 2 1/2. And 2 1/2. I have 2 1/4 now, 2 1/2 in that rare piece. I have 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 once, twice, and 2 1/2 anymore. 250 I have on the phone and 275. I have 250s on the phone, 275. At 250 and 275 from the Plunkett estate. I have 250 and 75 anymore. Once, twice, and sold the phone. 275. Almost sold it. 275 and now 300. At 275 and 300. At 275 and 300. She caught it just right. At 275 and 3. Quickly. At 275 once, twice, and it was 300. 275.
Online bidder.
Get those bids in quickly. Next we have 4 hand-carved and painted fish decoys from the same family again. And on these right here, what's your pleasure?
150.
Here's a cool one right here. 150 and 175. At 150, 175. For 4 of them, at 150, 175. Any more? At 150, 150 only. 175 you want it. Any more? All in, all done. 150, 175. 175 and 200 for all 4. 175 and now 2. At 175 and 2, 175 and 2. Any more? Sold 175.
Online bidder.
Next we have large decorative fish decoy in the manner of Oscar Peterson, in the style of Oscar Peterson. Look at this one. That's a beauty, with a tack eye and metal fins. What's your pleasure on this one? 90, I have a now 100. I have 90 now 100, one of the best ones of the group. I have 90 now 100, 90 now 100. Any more than $90, going to sell. They're all unreserved. I have $90 now 100 on that rare, large, carved and painted fish decoy. 100 I have, of course, and 1 1/4. A 1 1/4 and 1 1/2 should be everywhere. 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2 anymore? At 1 1/4 once, twice, and went for 150. All in all, that 1 1/4, 1 1/2. It's 1 1/4 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have 4 dry fly casting rods, Orvis, Sharp, and Edie's. What's your pleasure on all the fish rods? 250. How much? 250 I have and 275. I have 250 with Emily on live auctioneers and 275. I have 250 and 275 at 250 75. At 250 70, 275, 300. I have 275 on all the rods, 300 I have and 3 1/4. I have 300 now 3 1/4 on all the rods. At 300 3 1/4, 300 once, twice, in for 3 1/4. All in all 3 1/4 with Carol and 3 1/2. I have 3 1/4, 3 1/2 on all the rods. I have 3 1/4, 3 1/2. 3 1/4 once, 3 1/4 twice, went for 350. All in all on 3 1/4. We are all done. Any more? 3 1/4, Carol.
Online bidder.
1194 is another fish decoy, fish decoy with wire rigging, original painted surface. And what I have on that?
60.
50 have 60, 60 and 70, 70, 80, 80, now 90, 90, 100 I have, now quarter, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 175, 200, 200, 2 1/4. I have 200 against you now, 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. I have 2 1/4, 2 1/2. I'm doing the absolute bid. I'm 2 1/4 with Carol and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2 anymore. At 2 1/4 with Carol once, half. Carol, 2 1/4.
Online bidder.
Next we have another large speckled fish decoy with tacked fins and orange accents. Oh, look at that nice size of that one. These are all from the same family. They were in a study up in northern Maine in a beautiful, very fabulous house. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on this one? 50, it should be way under the money. 50 and 60. 50 and 60 should be bringing $300-400. 60 and 70. I have 60 and 70 and 60 and 70. I have $60 only and 70. Of course, now 80. 80, now 90. Should have started at 200. 90, now 100. I have 90, now 100. These are very early, rare fish decoys. And 90, now 100. I have 90, now 100. 90, now 100. Any more? And 90 once, 90 twice. Going to sell it. It's on reserve. Anyone for 100? All in, all done at $90 only. And that nice 100 I have. And now 1 1/4. This is no money for this big early fish decoy. 1 1/4 and 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2. These are the old ones. Well, I'll tell you. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2. At 1 1/4 once, twice. I went for 150. It's 1 1/4 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have a J. Peterson American trout with Creole painting. Look at this. A nice early painting from the Plunkett estate again. And on that one right there, what's your pleasure? 80, now 90, now 100. 90, now 100, now quarter. Quarter, now 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 175, 200. 175 and 2, no money for that. I 175 now 2. Original painting. 200 I have and 2 1/4, 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. Look at the quality of that painting. 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 and 2 1/2 from the Plunkett estate. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 once, 2 1/2 and 75, 75 and 300. Should have started there at 275 and now 3. Going to sell it at 275 once, 275 twice, and for 300. 300 and 3 1/4. I have 300 with Carol online now 3 1/4. I have 300 now 3 1/4, 300 3 1/4 anymore. All in all that 300 3 1/4. 3 1/4 with Emily now and 3 1/2. On live auctioneers at 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. A great sporting picture at 3 1/4 once, 3 1/2 and 375. At 375 and 400 now. I 375 and with Emily on live auctioneers now 4. I 375 and 4 if you want it. At 375 once, twice, went for 400. All in all done. 375. 400 in time with Carol and 4 1/4. 4 1/4 with Emily and 4 1/2. Quickly, I have 4 1/4. Going to sell it. I have 4 1/4 with Emily and now 4 1/2. 4 1/2 with Carol and now 475. I have 475 with Emily and now 500 and now 500. I have 475 and 5 if you'd like it. At 475 once, twice, and for 500, 500, 550. I have 500 with Carol now 550. Wonderful trout pit. 550, 600. I have 550 and 600. I have 550 once, 550 twice on the painting. Anyone for $600. All in, all done with Emily on live auctioneers at 550. Make no mistake. Emily, 550.
Live auctioneer.
Live auctioneers. Next, we have another small fish decoy with bright paint and tack eyes. Again, another one from the same estate. These are nice old decoys that were in this guy's den office. And what's your pleasure in this one? 50. I have 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Any more? All in, only $50. That lovely little fish, 60, now 70. At 60, now 70. Working hard on these because they're worth much, much more. I have 60, now 70. Any more? 60 once, twice, in for $70. Moving on. 60 it is.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have 2 striped fish decoys with red gill marks and carved fins. What's your pleasure on these? 50, I have 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Boy, these are way under the money. They're old. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Should be much, much more. No fish decoy carved. 60. We should have got some
70.
better play on these. 70, now 80. I have 70, now 80. 70, now 80. 80, now 90. For 2 of them, $80. $40 a piece. Those hand-carved and painted early decoy, fish decoys. I have only $80, now 90. 80 once, twice, 90, now 100. I have 90, now 100. Quickly. I have 90 once, 90 twice, and for 100. All in, all done. 90.
Online bidder.
Okay, off we go. Next item. 6 fishing rods, 4 early cane, and 2 fiberglass rods. What's your pleasure on the whole lot? 50, I have 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 and all those fly rods. I have 6 fishing, 70, now 80. I have 70, now 80, 70, now 80. They're all on reserve, 80, now 90. They're all on reserve. I have 90, now 100, 90, now 100, and 90, now 100 anymore. 90 once, 100. I have 100 Carol, now 1 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 1 1/4 with Emily on Live Auctioneers, now 1 1/2. 1 1/2 with Emily, now 175. 175 and 200. 200 I have and 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4 and 2 1/2 for all those rods. I have 2 1/2 and 275. 75, 300 now. 300 I have a Carol and 3 1/4. I have 300 Carol now, 3 1/4. 3 1/4 with Emily and 3 1/2. 350, 375. 375, 400 for all of them. I have 375 and 400. I have 375 and 4 and 375 and 4. Any more? All in, all done. 375 once, twice, went for 400. All in, all done. 375 with Emily all the way now. Any more? Emily, 375.
Live auctioneer.
Next we have a Mitchell 330 automatic fishing reel in the original box, brand new, never used. What's your pleasure on that?
100.
100 I have now 1/4. I have 100 now 1/4, 100 now 1/4, brand new in the box. Can you imagine? 100, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, a 1 1/4, 150. At 1 1/4 it's a Mitchell 330 automatic fishing reel in the original box. I have 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and 175. At 150, 175. At 150 and 175. I go a long ways before you find another one in that condition. I have 150 once, twice, in for 175. All in, all done. At 150. We are 150, Carol.
Online bidder.
Next we have another little fish decoy. This one is a fish decoy carved mouth and eyes with naturalistic trout-like form. What's your pleasure on this one? 90, now 100. 90, now 100. Again, these are nice old ones. I have 90, now 100. 100 I have now 1/4. I have 100 now 1/4, 100 now 1/4. I have 100 now 1/4 anymore. All in, all done. 1 1/4 with Carol, 1 1/2 now. 1 1/2 and 175. 175 and 200. 175 and 2. These are so collectible. I have 175 and now 2. At 175 and 2, 175 and 2 anymore. All in, all done. 175, 200. 200 in time, Carol, and 2 1/4. I have 200 now, 2 1/4. Almost sold it. I have 200 now, 2 1/4 with Carol on her site now at 200, 2 1/4. Once, twice, any more? 200, Carol.
Online bidder.
And what do you have next? Oh, this is a nice picture right here. This is from the Plunkett estate again. This is a nice early primitive painting of a fish on shore in the original circa 1900 frame. On that right there, what's your pleasure? 60, I have now 70. I have 60, now 70. This is a vintage piece from the 19th century. 70, now 80. 70, now 80. Just needs a nice cleaning. It'll be ready to go. I have 90, now 80. What do we have? 80? 70, now 80. I have 70, now 80, now 90. 80, now 90. Should be bringing 200 or 300 each. 90, now 100. At 90, now 100. 90, now 100. At 90 once, 90 twice. Going to sell it. At 100, now 1/4. I have 100 now 1/4. On that, not 1 1/4 and 1 1/2. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2. This is a period painting. At 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Going to sell it. 1 1/4 once, 1 1/2 and 175. At 150 now 175 and 200. At 175 and now 2. Nice period painting. At 175 and 2 in the original frame. At 170, 200 I have and 2 1/4. I have 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Any more? 2.5, and 275. At 250, 75, and 300, and 300. At 275, we should have started here, but here we are. At 275, need 3. 300 and 3 1/4. At 3 and 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. At 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Great painting. 3 1/4, 3 1/2. At 3 1/2 and 375. 375 and 400. At 375 and 4. With Emily on live auctioneers at 400 I have, and 4 1/4. 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. At 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. At 4 1/4, 4 1/2. At 4 1/4, 4 1/2 and 475. At 450 with Carol on her platform, now 475. At 450, now 475. At 450 once, twice, went for 475. All in, all done at 450. All in, once, twice, and it's 450 then.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have another brightly painted pickerel form fish decoy with carved fins and a turned tail. And on that right there, what's your pleasure on this one? 1 1/4 and 1 1/2. 1 1/4. These are all from the same family. 1 1/4 and 1 1/2. 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2 anymore. At 1 1/4 once, 1 1/4 twice, and 1/5, 1 1/2 on the pickerel. 175 now. At 150 now 175. At 150 now 175. At 175 and 200. At 175 and 2. At 175, 200 I have, and now 2 1/4. I have 200 with Carol and 2 1/4 on the pickerel. I have 200 now 2 1/4. I have 200 and 2 1/4 and 200 2 1/4. Thanks, Chris. I have 200 now 2 1/4 on the pickerel. At 200 once, twice, and for 2 1/4, it's $200 to who?
Online bidder.
Online bidder with Carol. Next we have 3 large fish decoys in varied forms and colors. 2 of them are signed. What's your pleasure? Oh, look at these. What's your pleasure on these? 50 have them, 60 now. Here's a speckled trout, another trout. I don't know what this little guy is. Oh, pollywog. There we go. And what's your pleasure with glass eyes? What do we have on these? 50 have them, 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. These are all hand carved and painted. These are contemporary. The others were all old. I have 50 and 60, 50 and 60, now 70. I have $20 a piece. You couldn't get those carved for that money for anywhere. I have 60, now 70. This one's initial GA, 70, now 80. I have 70, now 80, 70, now 80, at only $70. Those great fish decoys. Any more? Gotta go. 70 once, twice, and 80, now 90. 80, now 90, 80, now 90. At $80 once, 90, now 100. At 90, now 100. This one's signed by another signature right here. It's by T. Haig, 1984. What do we have? 90, now 100. 90, now 100. 90 once, twice, and for anyone for 100. Once, twice, and 90 it is. Next we have a long painted fish decoy with stripes and metal fins. What's your pleasure on this one? 50. I have them, 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. All in, all done, $50. 60 if you want it. How much? 60 and 70. I have 60 now, 70, 60 now, 70. At 60 now, 70, 60 now, 70 more. All in, all done, $60. Once, twice, and 60 it is. Live auctioneers. Next we have 5 vintage split bamboo fishing rods, 3 fiberglass shore casting rods with 1 reel. What's your pleasure on all those? 100 I have, and now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, $100 quarter, 100 now quarter. At $100 on all those fishing rods, at only $100, 100 a quarter if you like it. Looks like there's some salmon rods in there and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, at $100, 100 a quarter, and all the rods at $100 only and selling. 100 once, twice, and for 100 a quarter. It's $100 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have all the reels. 12 miscellaneous dry fly reels, fluger, and trout reels, the whole works, 1 money. They went with all those rods, I think. What's your pleasure on those? 50 having 60 now for all those reels. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Cost that for one of them new. I have 50 and 60 and all the rods, all the reels rather. 12 reels for $50. It's amazing. Any more? 50 once, twice, and for 60. It's $50 then. Live auctioneers. No money for those. Next we have from the Plunkett Estate again. If you like the one in porcelain, this is molded glass. I can't believe this is so rare. This is a 3-dimensional wall-mounted composition featuring 2 glass fish molded in relief, painted in naturalistic tones in a period wooden frame, walnut frame. What's your pleasure on this? 550 and 600. I have 550 and 600 at 550 and 600. At 550 and 600, rare thing. At 550 and 600 to survive all these years. I have 550 once, twice in for 600 with Emily at 550. 2, Emily, at 550. That's all the fish paintings and stuff came from the Plunkett estate over in East Booth Bay. Next, we have a large sturgeon form fish decoy with scale carving and copper fins. And that's 1209 is the lot. What's your pleasure on this one? What's your pleasure on this sturgeon right here? What's your pleasure on this one? A rare one. Maybe we have what? $100 where? $100 where? $50 where? It's the last of the, I think that's the last of the fish decoys. No, we get a couple more. 50, I have 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 on the sturgeon. At 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. All in, only $50. Once, twice, and it's $50 then.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. 1210, another fish decoy. That's a fun one. Attributed to Leroy Howell, Hinckley, Minnesota. And what's your pleasure on this one here?
250.
$250 I have, and now $275. Oh, that's a good one. I have $250 and $275. I have $250 and $275 and $250 and $275. At $250 and $75, I'm going to sell. $250 once, twice, and was $275. Carol, $250.
Online bidder.
Next, we have a large trout form fish decoy with painted spots and metal fins. Another one right here, another beauty. What's your pleasure on this one? What's your pleasure on this? Some great fish decoys. This is an old one. On this right here. On this right here. What's your pleasure? May a couple $100 set it in. 100 I have, now quarter. I have 100 now quarter, 100 now quarter. I have $100, 100 quarter anymore. Last call at $100, 1 a quarter, 1 a half. At 1 a quarter, 1 a half, 1 a quarter, 1 a half, 1 a quarter, 1 a half anymore. 1 a half and 175. I have 150 now 175. At 150, 175, 150 and 75 anymore. All in all then at 150, 175 anymore. It's 150 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have another fish decoy, a striped fish decoy with carved dorsal fin and curved tail. A very pretty one right there. And what's your pleasure on this one? What's your pleasure on this nice little decoy right here? There we have $100 to set it in. 50, having 60 now. They're all on reserve. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. No money for these at all. I have 50 and 60 and 60, now 70. I have 60 now 70, 60 now 70. Any more? All in all, that 70 now 80. Quickly, I have 70 now 80, 70 now 80. As 70 now 80 anymore? 70 once, twice, and for $80. All in all, that's $70. Way under the money on these. $70 it is.
Online bidder.
Next we have a large folk art decoy with curved wood tail and painted spots. What's your pleasure on this guy? 150 have it, now 175. I 150, 175, another old one. I 150, now 175. At 150, 175, 175 and 200. At 175 and now 2. At 175 and 200 if you like it. At 175 once, twice, and for 200. Any more? 200 I have, and 2 and a quarter. I have 200 with Carol, now 2 and a quarter. I have 200 now, 2 and a quarter, 200, 2 and a quarter anymore. 200 once, twice, and for 2 and a quarter. It's $200, Carol.
Online bidder.
They're getting them all. Next, we have another nice one. Fish decoy in the style of Frank Misera with original paint and carved fins on that one right there. That's a beauty. What's your pleasure on this one? What's your pleasure on this one? They're carved in the style of Frank Misera with original paint and carved fins. What's your pleasure on this one? A nice early decoy, fish decoy. Anyone for $100 to set it in. $100 where? And it's that decoy, fish decoy. It's the only one left. And it was for $100 on the fish decoy. Can't believe it. Nobody wants that one. So one of the nicest ones of the group. And it was for $100. $50. They want them sold. 50 I have on the floor. I have 50 on the floor, now 60. I have 50 now, 60, and 50 now, 60, 60 now, 70. It's a no-brainer. I have 60 now, 70, 60, and 70. Of course, now 80. I have 70 now, 80, 70 now, 80. As 70 now, 80 anymore? All in all, that's $70. Once, 80, now 90. 80 now, 90. Should have started at 200. I have 80 now, 90. 80 now, 90. I'm going to sell it at only $80. Once, twice, and for $90. 80 it is.
Online bidder.
Next, we have 2 folk art fishing lures or decoys again. Look at these right here. These are from a different family. And what's your pleasure on these? 70 I have. These have glass eyes. 80, now 90. I have 80, now 90, now 100. At 90, now 100, 90, now 100. At 90, now 100, 90, now 100. At $90 only, need 100, I have now a quarter. I have only $100, 100 and a quarter. I have $100 only, 100 and a quarter anymore. All in, all done, it only 1 and a quarter is on the phone, 1 and a half. At 1 and a quarter, 1 and a half. 1 and a half, and 175. 150, now 175. I 150, now 175, now 2. At 175 and 2. At 175 at Carol online, now 200. At 170, that's only $100 a fish. At 175 once, twice, and for 200. Any more? 200 with Carol, now 2 and a quarter. I have 200, now 2 and a quarter. I have 200, 2 and a quarter, I'm going to sell it. That's the last of the fish decoys. I have 200 once, twice, and for 2 and a quarter. Sold, Carol, 200.
Online bidder. That was 225?
200. Yep. Next we have from the family in that had all the knives in the original boxes made by Henley. These were, again, they must have, one of them must have been a salesman, because we have 3 1930s German cork handle fishing knives by Henley, all brand new. What's your pleasure knows?
60.
How much? 60 and now 70. I have 60 now 70, 60 now 70 for 3 of them. Brand new cork knives, fishing knives by Henley, all brand new from the 1930s, still like brand new. I have 60 now 70. That's $20 a piece. Any more?
70.
70 now 80. I have 80 now 90. I have 80 now 90 for all of them. I have 80 now 90. 80 once, 90 now 100. 100 I have now quarter. I have 100 now quarter. Look at them. They even have the original sheaths and tags on them. It's unbelievable. This is like whole over stock. I have 100 now quarter. 100 once, twice, and for 1 and a quarter. Going to sell them. All in, all done? Emily has the 100?
Yes.
Sold. Emily, 100.
What I auction you?
Thank you. And now we're out of that type of stuff, and we're into some other rare documents and things. We are rare World War I era illustrated medical bandage. Somebody actually did the drawings on this bandage. Black printed triangular cotton bandage for first aid. And on that right there, it's 20 inches by 50 inches. What's your pleasure on that? 50 I have, and 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60 on that rare thing. At 50 and 60, surviving from World War II. World War I, rather. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Any more? All in, all done. At $50, 60 if you like it. At 50 once, twice, and 60, and now 70. At 60 now 70, 60 now 70. At only $60 once, $60 twice, and for 70. All in, all done. $60. Any more? It's $60 then. And now we're going to 1218. 1218 is U.S. Navy midshipman appointment accepted 1840. Autograph letter signed by from appointee John Madigan, Jr., 1824 to 1870. And what's your pleasure on this? What's your pleasure on this document here? May we have $100 and set it in on this nice midshipman appointment acceptance from 1840, signed by John Madigan, written from Damascotta, Maine in 1840. Any interest in this piece at all? No interest in that piece? Then we'll move along. Next we have autographed copy of the Memoirs of Richard Nixon, along with a photo of the recipient with the former president. What's your pleasure with that? 200 I have, and now 2 and a quarter. I have 200, now 2 and a quarter, and 200, 2 and a quarter. I have 200, now 2 and a quarter, 200, 2 and a quarter. At only $200 and selling. $200 once, $200 twice, and for 2 and a quarter. It's $200 then.
Online bidder.
Next we have 11 1950s vintage U.S. Air Force evasion and escape pilots rayon maps. What's your pleasure on those? 1 and a quarter and 1 and a half on all of them. 11, 1 and a quarter, 1 and a half. At 1 and a quarter, 1 and a half. At 1 and a quarter, 1 and a half. Any more? At 125 once, twice, in for 1 and a half. All in, all done at 1 and a quarter. Looks like we are. Sold 1 and a quarter, Carol.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have panoramic photograph of the HMS Hood in the Firth of Forth, circa 1925. Look at the size of that photograph. What's your pleasure on that? What's your pleasure on this? May we have what? $100 in that rare photograph. $100 where? $50 where? And it's to $50. They want it sold. Anyone for $50, that rare photograph. Anyone for the HMS Hood. $50 where? No interest in that piece? and we shall pass it along. Next we have an identified Maine 1st Veterans Regiment documents and family lineage. And on that right there, which a pleasure.
50.
50 I have, and 60, and 60, and 70,
70.
80, 90, 100, quarter,
1 1/4.
half, yeah, 75,
75.
200, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 275,
275.
300, 300 absentee, 3 1/4 online, 3 1/2, 375, 400, 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2. No, 4 1/4. The book is out. It's 4 1/4 with Carol, 4 1/2. At 4 1/4, 4 1/2, at 4 1/4, 4 1/2 anymore. 4 1/4 with Carol, and 4 1/2. They're out? Okay. 4 1/4, Carol.
Online bidder.
That's a nice group of things. Next we have extremely important historical puzzle, Roosevelt and Bryant, 1916. What's your pleasure in this? 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. I have 4 1/4, 4 1/2, at 4 1/4, 4 1/2. At 4 1/4, 4 1/2, at 4 1/2, and 475. At 450 and 475. At 450 and 475, and that rare piece right there. It's the hotel desk register from the Southington Inn in Connecticut in Friday, May 26, 1916. It has all kinds of signatures from William Jennings Bryant, Theodore Roosevelt, and all kinds of people. And what do we have, 4 1/2? 4 1/2 and 475. I have 450 and 475 anymore. At 450 once, 450 twice, and for 475. We all good? It's going to be 450 then.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Next we have letters from home, World War I doughboy to mother, Roland Newhall, Lynn, Mass. A whole stack of personal letters from World War I. What's your pleasure on those? What's your pleasure on those? May we have $100 where? All those letters from the doughboy to his mother, Roland Newhall, Lynn, Mass. $50 where? Interested $50 on all the letters. Interested in all the letters. Nobody wants those? Pass those away. Next item, we have President Taft signed Yale Field Day program. What's your pleasure on that one?
60.
60 I have, and 70. 70, Jen. 70, 80, 80, 90, 100. 90 now 100. 90 now 100. I'm 90 now 100. 100 now quarter. 1 1/4. 1 1/2. 175. 200. 200. 2 1/4. 2 1/2. 2 1/2. 275. No, she's out. I have 2 1/2 with Carol now. At 2 1/2 and 275. At 2 1/2 now 275. 2 1/2 275 anymore. Once, twice, at 250, and it's 250. Then Carol gets that one.
Online bidder.
The absentee bidder's out. 1226. 1226. Sons of the Revolution membership 1892 contains Constitution, officers, and roster. Great portrait of Washington at Francis Tavern and captured of Ticonderoga. What's your pleasure in this?
60.
60. I have now 70. I have 60 now 70. 60 now 70. That's a rare volume. I have 60 now 70 anymore. 60 once, twice, went for $70. We all in all this. 70 now 80. 70 now 80. 70 now 80. 70 now 80. Nobody's manning the camera. I have 70 now 80. I have 7.
Showing anything anymore, so.
70 now 80. 70 now 80. It's still showing online. 80 now 90. I have 80 now 90. 80 now 90. 80 now 90 anymore. All in all done at $80. Once, twice, and for $90.
90.
90 now 100. 90 now 100. A nice round number. I have 90 now 100. 90 once, 90 twice, aim for a $100 bill. Once, twice, and $90 with Emily. Live auctioneers buys. Next we have a letter from President Taft and a cartoon of New York Senator George Blauvelt. And what's your pleasure on that?
150.
150 and 175. I 150, 175. That's a great thing. I 150 now 175 at only 150, 175. And going to sell it at only 150, 175 at 150 once, twice. Who has the 150? Emily has 150. Need 175 and 150, 175. Any more? All in all done at 150, 175. Any more? It's 150 then.
Live auctioneers.
Next, we have rare photographs right there. 3 historical original World War II snapshot photographs by Ike Pilot. And what's your pleasure on this? What's your pleasure on these? These are original photographs. One of his, he's signing an autograph. I think that was to his driver. And what's your pleasure in 1944? Any interest in these? Pass those away then. Next we have World War photograph of World War I Scots military band members. And what's your pleasure on these? Any interest in this? Any interest in this? $100, $50. No interest? Pass it away too. Next object. Next we have two post-war U.S. savings bond posters. What are your pleasure on these? May we have $100 where? $50 where? And he said $50. Anyone for $50 on those? Nobody wants those? Once, twice, and pass those away. Next object. We have 7 framed 1870s Harper Weekly illustrations. What's your pleasure on these? 50. I have them 60 now. I have 50 and 60. That's not even $10 a piece. I have $60. These are original illustrations from period Harper's magazines, all matted and framed. I have $60. What do we have? 50, and now 60. Not even $10 a piece. It's outrageous. Any more? Sold, $50. Next.
Online bidder.
Next we have is 1232. And on the Harper's Weeklies from the same family again. What's your pleasure on these? 50 and 60 and 60 and 70. 70 now 80. No. I have 70 now 80, 70 now 80. 70 now 80. Any more? All in all, $70, 80 if you want it. $70.
Online bidder.
No money for these. Next we have the last of them. And on there we have 4 frame Harper's Weeklies. These are 3 double pages, 2 covers, and so on and so forth. What's your pleasure on these? 70 now 80. I have 70 now 80, 70 now 80. And 70 now 80. Any more? All in all, that's $70, 80 if you want them. $70 online.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. And moving on to 1234. 1234 is a collection of military ephemera. What's your pleasure on this? 50. I have 60 now. I have 50 and 60 and 50 and 60. Any more? All in all, $50, 60 if you want it. 50 it is. Emily, live auctioneers. And the last lot of the day is this rare silver Assyrian yellow dagger. A beautiful dagger with a lion, with an open lion or tiger's mouth and silver inlaid. What's your pleasure of this?
So if you want people to see it, you're going to have to hold it up in front of you.
Oh.
Right there. Up a little. Right there. There you go. Yep. And then just spin it. There you go.
And on that, what's your pleasure?
275.
275 and now 300. I have 275 and 3 and 275 and 3. At 275 and 3 and that wonderful little dagger. At 275 and 3, the last object of the day. At 275 once, twice, and for 300. All in all on 275. Any more? 275 it is.
Online bidder.
Online bidder. Thank you all. And we will see you tomorrow for the Friday sale.